On July 18th, 2014, someone shot my ex-husband in the head while he was pulling into our garage after he dropped our then 3- and 4-year-old sons off at school. I only found out this information when the police picked me up from a lunch date I was having with 2 girlfriends and insisted that I come with them back to the station and then interrogated me for 8 straight hours, because it's usually the ex-wife. I'm not really okay. I list the things that are going well when people ask this question. My children are thriving and happy. We live with my parents who are incredibly devoted to our well-being. I started my own immigration practice, and I just signed up to do...
Okay, children thriving and happy. Parents happy about my well-being, and immigration practice is going swimmingly.
A 1-year clerkship with the Federal 11th Circuit in September, which means I can get off Obamacare.
A 1-year clerkship.
And have 1 year guaranteed of a steady income. But the truth is that I miss my life. I was a professor.
Finally, I can get off Obamacare.
At Florida State University College of Law. I was so proud to be a public interest attorney and a mentor to my students. The novel I wrote about my clients' stories had just been chosen as the common read for all first-year students at FSU. In August, I was supposed to be the commencement speaker, and then I was supposed to take my brain cancer surviving just turned 70 father on a trip to Machu Picchu. And I don't get to complain that I didn't do any of those things because I am alive.
10 months ago, someone killed the father of my children. First we got divorced, and then he got murdered. In casual conversations, I don't know whether to call him my ex-late spouse or my late ex-spouse, except that late ex-spouse sounds like latex spouse. Last July, someone, and we still don't know who, shot my ex-husband point blank in the back of the head as he pulled into our garage after driving our then 3- and 4-year-old sons to preschool. We married when I was in my mid-20s, when I thought I could cheat the system and marry a man I lacked passionate love for because, hey, didn't that...
Well, you've cheated the system for 11 years, Wendi, so I guess you're doing well in some regard.
...die anyway during marriage? I saw his intellect and big heart and thought he would make a wonderful father for my children. Our marriage dissolved after the children arrived, as the loneliness of being married to someone that didn't view me as an equal crept in. I do believe he loved me the best way he knew how. I mean, he didn't like fiction, so why read my novel? It was logic, not a lack of love. It feels...
I really want to make a parody of Professor Markel, exactly how Wendi represents him, you know. This total thug storming around their house, carrying his intellectual papers. She's standing at the foot of the stairs, holding her little novel with both hands, saying, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Get out of my way, I'm not reading that trash. I am a professor. I read literature. I do not read holiday trash. Get out of my way, peasant." It would be the funniest. "You may not speak. Now drive me to Miami. I've got some business papers to review."
It feels sacrilegious these days, even to suggest something less than heroic about my latex husband, because he was murdered. He died violently and young, and likely at the hands of a professional killer. And the media had a field day in response. I turned on the news to find photos of my children with Nancy Grace, George Stephanopoulos saying my name in reference to our acrimonious divorce, and a picture my friend took when I was her maid of honor showed as evidence why I should be treated like a murder suspect.
Not for nothing, but is that the baby that Professor Markel is holding? because I've seen I've seen people hold footballs with more care. No offense, but it just looks a little. It must be the angle of the photograph.
Respect, and not the mother of two fatherless boys. I sat on a bench last week to watch the boys play. An older woman sitting next to me commented on how adorable my boys are and asked, "What does your husband do?" I hate this question. I haven't yet said, "He doesn't do much because he's dead," but I think it sometimes. I find when I tell people that my children's father died, they feel sad. But when they ask the follow-up questions and find out we weren't married, they seem to feel better. I don't.
What was that? The follow-up question is what? Oh,
His
they
father
weren't
died, they feel
married.
sad. But when they ask the follow-up,
Oh, someone killed the father of your children. That's terrible. Oh, but you were already divorced, so it's fine. That's not even true. No one would say that. No one would say, "Oh, well, at least you'd already divorced."
questions and find out we weren't married, they seem to feel better. I don't.
And you just know, right? With all that planning that Charlie was doing the previous year, when they were still married, had he been killed, all of the assets would have gone to her by default, right? There would be no Ruth Markel holding on to the life insurance money for the boys and making disbursements. There would be no handing back the house or settling. What was it? They settled the claimed debt by Wendi taking the house or something. There would have been none of that. It would have been sewn up for Wendi, and you just know that because Charlie fucked up that first hitman the previous summer, 2013, when they were still married, that she is pissed because it's cost her big. Don't get me wrong, she's still done very well out of this. But it's, it would have been so much cleaner for Wendi, and she would have had so much more had Charlie not fucked it up. Plus, he lost the 50 grand deposit.
Here's Wendi in response to the prompt, what is the story you tell about your relationship with your mom?
My mom and I have lived together for almost a year. She is selfless, generous, loving, and beautiful. She thinks she is fat. She once got turned down for Weight Watchers because she didn't have enough excess weight to be admitted to the program. She thinks she is stupid. My mom, who won the New York Spelling Bee for middle schoolers when she was only in the 6th grade.
And I love this bit, she thinks she is stupid. I don't know what the deal is with that sort of semi-mocking voice. She thinks she is stupid. And then she says, supposedly as a reason to qualify her as not being stupid, the only thing she has to qualify that is that she won a fucking spelling bee in 1958. Hasn't done much since then, but she did win that spelling bee. When you what is the word? Congratulate something with something that far back in time and that minor. What you're really doing is saying you've done nothing since then. That was your highest achievement 60 years ago.
I'm so many of the things I am because of who my mom is and who she wants me to be. I was valedictorian of my high school. She seemed proudest that I graduated high school.
Who she wants me to be. I think this one, you know, this is the most revealing part of Wendy's creative writing. Who my mom wants me to be. That's what we got all in trouble here in the first place. Because Donna wanted Wendi to marry into the inner circle of the upper crust, high society, educational, blah, 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 blah. You know, Harvard. Convinced her to do so. And look where it got us. Let's hear it again.
I was only in the 6th grade. I'm so many.
A little bit more.
To the prompt, what is the...
Just love Georgia's face there. I think that might be my favorite picture of Georgia ever. It says so much. It says, I don't believe you.
story you tell about your relationship with your mom?
My mom and I have lived together for almost a year. She is selfless, generous, loving, and beautiful. She thinks she is fat. She once got turned down for Weight Watchers because she didn't have enough excess weight to be admitted to the program. She thinks she is stupid. My mom...
Well, she's certainly fat now.
Who won the New York Spelling Bee for middle schoolers when she was only in the 6th grade. I'm so many of the things I am because of who my mom is and who she wants me to be. I was valedictorian of my high school. She seemed proudest that I graduated high school still a virgin. I try to draw boundaries with my mom because lately there aren't any. She is caring for my children right now so that I can be here in class, more like a co-parent than a grandmother. But I accept it because as a former kindergarten teacher, she is so adept in that role. She taught my boys how to recite the 44 presidents, just like she taught me when I was...
My childhood friend Lisa told me this weekend that she never even knew I was unhappy in my marriage. I had no idea I hid it so well. I always thought that I had an expressive face, the kind that easily registered happiness and disappointments. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that most people think I am very happy all of the time, because I smile constantly to try to engage with people, make them smile too. I think this face is a kind of mask that I wear out of a life of endless practice, like a kind of muscle memory for the face. I can even remember one time learning that a friend's father had died, and upon hearing the news, I smiled. It was a bizarre reaction, since I loved my friend and her dad very much.
She's using this creative writing thing as a tease, isn't she? She's saying, look, I love death. I get satisfaction out of hearing that people have died.
We were 13, and I remember him making pancakes for us many a Sunday morning after a few of us slept over. More than 20 years later, I still feel like a freak show thinking back on that moment. If I am a person that likes to be funny and to use humor and levity to engage with people, then is it an authentic or inauthentic response to smile at the news of something tragic? Am I deluding others or myself when I smile or laugh through the pain of a terrible time? Am I avoiding actually bathing in the grief I need to feel so that when time passes, I will have missed my chance to mourn? Danny used to tell me that everyone thought I was...
Yeah, good one, Wendi. And it's absolutely authentic. Don't worry about that. It's just sick at the same time. You're sick.
Such a nice person and such a good person. But he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him.
Well, Jeff found out as well, and now the whole world knows. So, good luck at trial.
And later in the same class, I gave the prompt, your last intimate moment.
It should be intimate when a man cries in front of you while you hold each other, and it was, but I wasn't crying. Sometimes I feel like I'm all cried out. This year I told my small children that their father was dead and wasn't ever coming back. And a few nights ago when
I bet she loved doing that, huh? monitoring their twisted expressions of shock and grief, eating it up like a psycho, just like her own children, you know, thinking in her mind, I made this happen. I did all this, and look at my children's twisted faces of grief, and now I get to be their rock. Everyone will see me as their rock.
Beautiful man teared up in my arms. I wondered if I could ever cry at something beautiful again. I shared a piece of writing with him I was trying out for class. It describes a scene where I'm immensely sad. He tells me he was initially impressed with all that I have accomplished, but now he's more taken with what I have endured. I appreciate his words and wonder, why can't I be that woman on the spot? Why do I reserve the written word for a place where I can accurately and painfully express myself, and the in-person, real-life version for the Wendi show, jazz hands and all? I wish I could merge us so we could be less of a weird...
And these people, they're all lapping it up, right? The Wendi show, jazz hands and all. And they're sitting there going, we love this woman. This woman has been through so much, and look at how she's come through. You know, brave Wendi, brave, passionate Wendi, loving Wendi.
No.
I think Wendi's working on a bigger story, more than just what happened, which was that her ex-husband was murdered. Her bigger story is about what it means for her to be authentic. Why does she laugh in the face of trauma? Does everyone? Or is Wendi...
So what time is it right now in Tallahassee? It's 9. What time did Wendi leave the interrogation room? It was about 7:30? Something like that? 8 maybe? So this, right at this point, 11 years ago, exactly now, she would be, what? Handing her laptop back to Isom. You know, he drove her to her house. Handing her laptop over, then going in for a bullet bourbon, which they let her keep. Unbelievable.
Wearing a mask she wants to take off. She writes a lot about how people react when they hear her story. She also writes about her own reactions, how she wishes she could be as true in person as she is in her writing. So I spoke to Wendi about her experience in our class. How did she feel telling her story? And how did it feel to get our class's reaction?
You asked, how are we doing really? And I was shaking from head to toe. And I thought, okay, let's just do this. Let's just dive in. I didn't have a plan to do it, but it just felt unavoidable. The words kind of just flew out of me. But then when I was done, I sat there and I couldn't look anyone in the eye. And I was sweaty. And I just thought, okay, now I've done it. Now it's out there. Now what?
And so then how did you feel about the class's reaction?
I felt good. I felt good about the class's reaction. I realized that people had questions. And so some of them were about the writing and how, what might be different ways to tell the same story. And other questions were a bit more like, well, what happened here and what was going on there? And I thought, oh, I don't know if you remember this. I didn't know we were all going to read what we wrote in class. I thought maybe some of us would read if we felt like it. And I didn't think that would be me.
So I asked her what motivated her in that moment to read her story, even when she wasn't expecting to.
I think for me, a lot of the additional pain I felt, on top of the murder and everything associated with was it felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment, of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things looked like from my perspective.
Oh, yeah? Is that how you remember it? Okay, welcome everybody to the chat. I think we all know why we're here. It's 11 years. Happy Markel Murder Day, everybody. Have Hallmark brought anything out for that yet? Or, yeah, they probably shouldn't. It's not a happy day. It'll be a happy day when justice is complete. But, what are we doing? What we're doing is we're going to have a look at the testimonies. I mean, I do not want to do the whole thing again. So what I did is I went through the 2019 and the 2022 testimony of Wendi Adelson on the stand and grabbed all the bits where she is questioned about that day, the murder day, of course. So that's going to take us up for a while. Then we've got some jail calls to review again, but I'm doing that because I really need to do something with it, so I might as well do it with all of you, and they're always good to listen to.
Is it fair to say that your parents are very protective of you?
I think that's fair to say.
Is it fair to say that your brother is very protective of you?
I think that's fair to say.
Okay. What about Dan Markel? Did your family like him?
Do you want to specify a point in time?
Well, I'm specifically thinking of a statement you made in the interview after his death, where you indicated that your parents were very angry with him. Is that accurate?
At that point in time, during our divorce, I do think they were angry with him. They felt like he had treated me badly.
And the motion to preclude your mom from having unsupervised contact with your kids, that was still pending at the time of his murder, correct?
That's possible. I mean, I don't think anyone took that motion very seriously.
Okay. Did your mom take it seriously?
I don't think so.
Did Dan Markel take it seriously?
I don't know how Danny felt about a motion. If he wrote the motion, he was probably taking it seriously.
Did Charlie Adelson like Dan Markel? And again, I'm referring to the time frame before his death.
I mean, I think he was also, he would listen to me when I would tell him about things I was upset about at the time with the divorce. So whether he liked him or didn't like him, he certainly was supportive of me.
Okay, but he never expressed any dislike?
No.
Did he mention hiring a hitman to kill your husband?
Objection, hearsay.
No.
Did he ever joke about...
You know, it was pretty stupid to bring Jeff Lacasse down to see Charlie and hang out in the hot tub where they were viciously complaining, just hating on Professor Markel, you know. I'm just trying to imagine if Jeff hadn't brought that to the cops, would it have gotten to them? No one from the family spoke. I mean, Wendi obviously mentioned that they weren't very happy with him, but it was a bit more embellished with Jeff's account. Kind of stupid, real stupid. And we still haven't really worked out why he was brought to see Charlie. And I know people like to say that they brought him down so that they could have this kind of in-joke about the guy that they're going to set up, but I don't believe that it was a realistic goal to actually set him up to go down for the murder. To throw the cops off for a while, sure, and give them somewhere else to look. We need to chase Jeff to Tennessee right now, you know, but for him actually to go down for the murder, I don't think that's realistic.
He looked into hiring a hitman, but buying you a TV as a divorce present would be cheaper?
He did make that joke. He tended to repeat himself, and sometimes he would make jokes that weren't very funny about all kinds of things.
All right, and was that TV, did he buy you a TV as a divorce present?
He did.
And was that TV the same TV that was being repaired at your residence at the time that your husband was murdered?
It was.
Who made the arrangements for that TV repair?
I did.
Your mom didn't make those arrangements?
I don't believe so.
And the repairman was at your house that morning that your husband died between 8:30 and 9:15. Do you agree with that?
I remember he was supposed to come between 8 and noon, and then he ended up coming on the early side.
That's when he arrived, between 8:30 and 9:15?
It's my best recollection.
Were you involved in any way in a plot to kill Dan Markel?
No.
Do you have any knowledge other than the statements you said your brother made or the jokes your brother made? Do you have any knowledge of anyone being involved in a plot to kill your husband?
No.
I want to ask you about the week prior to Mr. Markel's murder, like June 30th through July 10th, 2014. Were you in South Florida that week?
I know I was in South Florida for my father's 70th birthday. My dad's birthday is July 5th. I don't remember if his party was on his actual birthday or a little before or a little after, but I remember I went down for his birthday.
Can you tell the jury whether or not you were in South Florida on July 1st, 2014?
I couldn't say for sure.
Okay, but it would
I
be
may have traveled that day. I don't remember exactly when I went down. I only remember I was there for probably about a week and that I went down for my dad's birthday, but I couldn't tell you more exactly than that.
Your dad's birthday's on the 5th?
It is.
What month?
Of July?
Was Mr. Markel planning to leave town the day after he was murdered?
I believe he was.
Do you know where he was going?
I believe he was going to New York to visit his girlfriend.
And how
His girlfriend?
old was Mr. Markel when he was killed?
He was born in 1972, and he died in July of 2014.
Yeah, we still get likes coming in on the where is it? On the birthday card for Harvey, but still no one has seen the Prius. Look, we put all the characters, and then I put the most important character of all, a silver pine mica Prius, in Roman's hand. I thought that was really clever. No one noticed.
For his birthday's in October. He was 41.
41 years old.
Yes.
Did law enforcement in this case analyze your cell phone?
Oh, hang on. Did she just do the thing where she forgot how old he was when he was murdered? Imagine that. Oh, let me think now. He was born in October.
And how
To visit his girlfriend?
old was Mr. Markel when he was killed?
He was born in 1972, and he died in July of 2014 before his birthday's in October. He was 41.
41 years old.
Yes.
Did law enforcement in this case analyze your cell phone?
Oh, well, Deb, you know, Deb disagrees. Wendi was setting Jeff up, same type of car as rental, had to know what day and time he was leaving. Kept Jeff around until the time of unaliving, staging, breakup. Yeah, you know, people love to talk about the car. I don't see anything with the car. There's no, there were 3 cars. And one of them was dark blue. You know, the thing about the car is, if you look at any hire car, they're all pretty much the same. They're all standard saloon cars. I don't think a Prius looks anything like a Nissan Sentra. We can review that right now. You know, we can review that right now. None of the hitmen were ever told, have ever said, Luis Rivera's told us everything. I mean, he's never said, yeah, we were told to get a certain car. He was the one that got the car, one of the times at least. I mean, it's a red herring. Hire cars, a lot of them are Japanese, you know, a lot of them are Toyotas, Nissan, Kia, Mazda. You know, it's a lot of them are Japanese, a lot of them are four doors, a lot of them are light in color. It's a standard thing. It's a red herring that, you know. And if we actually look at a comparison between a 2004 Nissan Sentra So there's one. Oh, where is it? God damn it. There. There's a Nissan Sentra. Now let's get a 2008 Prius, is it? I think so. Right. In whose mind do those cars look alike? They're completely different. The Prius is probably the most distinctive shaped car on the road. There's thousands of them everywhere. Yeah, I don't believe that there's any. Hey, hitmen, you've got to get a certain type of car and make sure you get this certain type of car because we want it to look like. And you know, think about this, Deb. There's not even evidence that they were told to kill him at the house. And surely the best thing would be for no witness to be around at all, right? That would be the ideal scenario. So if you're going down they were told to get the same car, they would also need to make sure that they were seen. And why would you want to do that? You know, it was only by chance that Jim Geiger caught a small glimpse of what he thought might be a Prius. You know, so the whole car thing, I know some of those creators want to make a big video about it, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. It's just that most hire cars, rentals, are pretty similar, you know. They're standard saloons. But you know, obviously with the time of his departure going up to, hey Jeff, are you still going to Tennessee on Friday? Yeah, there was certainly an attempt for Wendi to name him in the interview and to say, yeah, I didn't even think about Jeff. It could be him. You know, obviously she wanted law enforcement to go and look for him instead of anyone else. But the car thing, I don't believe it at all.
I gave them my cell phone.
Okay. I want to talk about your location on the day of Mr. Markel's murder. You know that law enforcement looked at your phone and sort of looked at your movements that day?
Yes.
Okay. And that information indicates you were home at the Aqua Ridge residence at approximately 12:27 in the afternoon that day. Is that correct?
I don't remember exactly what time.
Dan Markel had the Honda, Michelle, a nice Honda Accord, black.
But that sounds right. I know I had left to meet some friends for lunch, so I guess I had left. I was home until that time. That sounds right.
All right. So it seems like kind of around lunchtime, about half afternoon.
Sure.
All right. And then shortly after that, at 12:29, it appears you were traveling on Centerville Road. Is that a normal way that you would ingress and egress from your Aqua Ridge residence?
That sounds right.
All right. And when you left your residence, you said you were going to lunch. Did you go directly to lunch?
No, I stopped.
Not a lot of difference. Well, you know, the entire side profile shape is different. The hood on the Nissan is longer. The hatchback is just a smooth shape on the back of the Prius. It's got a completely different set of tail lights. The wheel fucking span. Not the wheel span. The what do you call it between the length of the car? That's different. I mean, the hood sticks out a lot further on the Nissan. The A-frame of the cabin where you sit has a flat roof on the Nissan and a curved roof on the the windows are different, Christina. They could not be more different. And the headlights, I mean, we can't see the front of the Prius, but they've got distinctive headlights. They've got ones that, you know, go up. Look, here's a front picture of the Prius, okay? Not a lot of difference. Okay, we'll try it from this angle, Christina. I can't. Wait, 2 seconds. You know, the headlights. Prius headlights are like tall and go up. The Nissan are, you know, horizontally shaped. The Nissan has a big old grille. The Prius doesn't. I mean, yeah, they're real different.
And made a purchase for a party that I was supposed to attend first.
And what was that purchase?
It was my first time purchasing bourbon. It was for not a bridal shower. It was for a bachelor. No, it was for a wedding party, but it was the bride and groom together, and they had asked for people to buy certain alcohol to help them.
Like a stock the bar party.
A stock the bar party. I forgot what it's called.
Okay. And do you remember what type of bourbon you purchased?
I don't.
Does Bullet bourbon sound familiar?
Maybe. It was.
All right.
They had a list of what they wanted, and so I asked the person at the store if they had whatever kind it was.
Okay. And do you recall where you went to purchase the alcohol?
I think I went on Thomasville Road at ABC Liquor,
Okay. Is there a reason you went to that particular store?
No, I don't know many liquor stores. That was the first one that popped up.
All right. And you made that purchase according to the receipt that was in your vehicle at 12:49. Does that sound about right to you?
That sounds right.
Okay. And did you make any stop?
Well, I have seen beyond my own perspective, all of the things that you might expect to have found had there been an order given. Had there been an order given from the Adelsons to the hitman, you've got to get a certain car, make sure you get a certain car. They didn't ask for a certain car. How many people have we heard from? We've heard from the rental company. You think they're going to come in and lie and say, no, they definitely needed a certain car. They made a special request for a Prius, even though it doesn't look anything like a Sentra. I mean, you might say, hey, yeah, that Luis Rivera came in and he said, hey, man, I need a light-colored Nissan Sentra. The older, the better. That's absent. I do see beyond my own perspective. Too much. And then the other things, aside from the witness statements, if the whole mission is to go to the trouble, which is just beyond the it's overkill. It's overkill. If you want someone to see the car and mistake it for Jeff's so that they can make a report and say, hey, we saw a car that looked like a Nissan Sentra speeding off. I mean, how are you going to bank on that? You're gonna wait and say they see Markel and there's no one about. You're gonna tell the hitman, hey, if you have an opportunity to kill him, but there aren't any witnesses around to see you, wait until someone walks by so that they can identify the car. I mean, yeah. Don't listen to that other person who comments.
Stops between leaving your residence and going to the liquor store?
Maybe I purchased gas?
I don't know if you did or not, but I'm referring to your visit to the crime scene.
I did not visit the crime scene.
Okay. You did not pull up to the crime scene tape on Truscott Drive?
No. I was driving on Centerville Road, and sometimes I would take the shortcut through Truscott.
Yes, ma'am.
But when I was driving on
and then take it a little bit further. They say they locate Jeff quickly. No blood evidence. No, he might have some sort of credit card transaction which would have made it impossible for him to be at Truscott. Other things, right? If the police find the car and, they say, right, it was definitely a Nissan Sentra. That could, and Jeff's got a solid alibi, or they can't prosecute because it's obviously not him because he's got no gun, no blood, no nothing. All of those things, then it's almost like, it looks like an attempt to make it look like him. There's way too much that would have to have been done to get those hitmen to purposefully get a car that looks like Jeff for it to be reality. It's just not there.
Centerville Road, I saw some sort of tape or obstruction, and so I didn't turn.
Okay. And then you went from the liquor store straight to the restaurant?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. And what restaurant was that?
What was the name of that restaurant?
Mosaic?
Mosaic.
Have you seen the photographs that were taken of your vehicle?
I have not. That looks like my car. That looks like bourbon, yeah.
Who had your kids the morning that Mr. Markel was killed?
The kids were at preschool.
But I mean, at what home did they wake up that day?
That morning, I think they were at Danny's house.
Now, do you know who killed Dan Markel?
No,
Did your brother have anything to do with killing Dan Markel?
I don't believe so.
Your mother is Donna Adelson.
She is.
Where is she right now?
Right now, she's with my children
Not in
In-
Tallahassee.
in Miami.
Okay, she's not in jail.
No,
She's never been arrested before.
no,
Okay, she's not even testifying in this case, is she? To your
No.
knowledge.
to my knowledge, no.
What about your brother Charlie? Is he in Miami right now?
He's probably,
Michelle says, I don't think it was a coincidence that Wendy wanted to make sure that she was going to be in town that morning and time. Metrix, what do you think about that? Well, I don't think much of it, other than her wanting to be seen to have made plans and to be doing things in the day. And don't forget who she was having lunch with. There were two other academic professionals, child psychologists, one of them was, and you know, it fits into all of the things that Wendy does in the first few minutes of her interview. Isom asks her for ID, and she's like, "Well, I've got my bar card," like what innocent good citizens carry. And I was having lunch with some doctors, you know. I see it as another brush to make her look like an upstanding citizen from a high level of society. Now, obviously, people like that can commit a murder, but it's less likely than some gangbanger, you know. And it seemed to have worked pretty well for her in the interview room with Isom. So yeah, but you say in town in your point, Michelle, and do you know something I don't? I mean, was there something else in town? What are you getting at? What do I think about it? I think she wanted to look busy, like she had an appointment, like she wasn't waiting around for news of a murder, and, oh, hey, I'm going to have a business-style lunch with a couple of doctors because I'm educated. You know, that's kind of what I think about it. Michelle goes on to say, otherwise, after she dumped him and told him to stay away, why would she have shouted to him and asked that? Well, she wanted to know he was leaving town so that she could, you know, don't forget that when Jane came in to the appointment, to the interview, Wendy had specifically not mentioned Jeff up until Jane came in, and it was Jane that mentioned him first. Why? Because Wendy, after getting back from Gainesville, where there was the big blow-up with Jeff that she orchestrated by purposefully leaving her day planner on the coffee table with Daniel Sack, lunch with Daniel Sack, dinner with Daniel Sack, all in the day planner, baiting Jeff to go and look through it and then accuse her of seeing another guy. She baited Jeff to do that so that he would get frustrated, have a difficult conversation with Wendy, so that she could then go back to Tallahassee, have a confidant conversation with Jane, an older woman, and badmouth the shit out of Jeff, knowing that this murder was going to happen, and that somehow, I still don't know how she did it, but she managed it, get Jane into the interrogation room, which may not have been necessary. That could have come later, but she did manage to get Jane into the interrogation room. And as soon as Jane got in there, what was practically the first thing that Wendi said, very forcefully? Jane, who could have done this? In a panic. And are they going to come after my kids? Or me? Who's next? You know, and the first thing Jane said, is Jeff this much of a lunatic? And Wendi says, oh, I didn't even think about Jeff. You know. And then, moving forward in the interview, anytime Wendi gets the opportunity is, oh, you know, it was Jane that introduced me and Jeff, so that's why she thought of him first. I mean, it's amazing the arrangement that she created. It's incredible. It was a feat to pull off. So certainly, you know, she was checking that Jeff was going to the Tennessee appointment Friday. Are you still leaving town Friday? Knowing that he's going to go up to the Georgia border via Atlanta, right up Thomasville Road. I mean, that is the North Road out of Tallahassee, which connects directly with Trescott Drive. Yeah, I'm totally with the thing of Wendi wants the cops to go and look for Jeff and question Jeff and be distracted by that. I just don't believe that there was any order, request, plan, or otherwise to have the hitman in a car that looked like his. What does Jeff drive? Jeff drives a car that looks pretty much like any hire car.
Probably in Fort Lauderdale right now?
Okay, but he hasn't been arrested,
No,
hasn't been charged,
no,
and he's not testifying in this case, is he?
no.
Okay. Are you aware if the state has attempted to subpoena them to come to court?
I believe they have received a subpoena to come to court.
Okay, and it was for them to come and testify in this trial, or you don't know?
I don't know for certain.
I heard that they do say K-turn in New Hampshire, for what it's worth. Someone let me know that the other day, or a few weeks ago.
Okay. So the day of the homicide, do you remember what day of the week that was?
I believe it was Friday.
Okay. So the day before would have been a Thursday.
Right.
Okay. Do you remember what you were doing that day?
I don't.
Is there any way that you would have been walking down Trescott Drive with your two sons the day before his murder?
No. I don't live in walking distance, so there's no reason why I would have been walking down the street. No.
You and Mr. Markel weren't on that kind of talking or speaking terms where you would be at the Trescott home and he wasn't there?
No.
Okay. You wouldn't go and take the boys for a walk on Trescott Drive?
I don't think so, no.
When did your brother buy you that TV?
I remember having the TV in the house on Aqua Ridge, so sometime after the fall of 2012. Sometime between 2012, 2013, something like that.
Do you remember making a phone call to Charlie that morning and having a conversation with him without going into the details of that conversation?
Which morning?
The morning of Danny's murder.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Judge. Mr. Markel's murder. Do you remember how long you spoke for?
I don't remember how long I spoke for.
Now, you had described your brother as a talker. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think I described him as more of a joker than
Joker.
a talker, but he does talk.
Do you remember the circumstances under which he made that statement that the state talked about hiring a hitman, but instead I got you this TV? Who else was around when this statement was made?
Well, he tends to repeat himself, so he kept repeating that joke because he thought it was funny.
Okay, but do you remember the time frame of when that happened? Like, was this way before during the course of your divorce, or was this after?
It would have been when he bought the TV.
When he bought the TV. And that would be after the divorce.
Well, not after I filed for divorce, right? But not after the divorce was finalized. So sometime after, I really don't remember when I got the TV, but maybe sometime starting with the fall of 2012, sometime around then, but it could have been 2013.
Now, you said that you stayed in Tallahassee after the homicide.
I stayed for a few days.
Okay. And do you recall if Detective Isom tried to call you
After I had left,
before you left Tallahassee, but after the memorial service for Mr. Markel?
he did not call me before I left Tallahassee, no.
Did he try to call you?
He called me when I was already on the road.
Okay.
About 4 hours away from Tallahassee.
All right. Did he ever try to talk to you again?
No.
As a prosecution? When is the first time the prosecution reached out to you to speak to you about what happened?
I don't remember ever talking with the prosecution.
Object. Proper question.
Let's go sidebar.
Do you know if Detective Isom ever tried to reach out to your parents?
I don't think he did.
Do you know if Detective Isom ever tried to speak to your brother Charlie?
I don't think he did.
Okay, what was wrong with the television that had to be repaired?
I think one of my kids might have thrown something at it, so there was a crack in the TV.
Or 2022.
All right, does that refresh your recollection about what your mother felt was the most important non-negotiable term of your divorce?
It does.
Okay, and what was that?
That was relocation.
And did your mother, I think you said she was very unhappy with him. Did you agree that she despised him?
I can't speak to whether my mom despised him or didn't. She was very, very disappointed with the way he treated me.
Okay, and did she ever call him names?
I don't remember her calling him names.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at the email?
No, Miko Lanimator. It was a blue Hyundai.
For that?
I'm happy to.
Okay, if you'll take a look at page 1, about halfway down.
So yeah, if you told, hey, you've got to get the same car, Nissan, and you get a Toyota and a Hyundai, they might have had, because there was 3 total, because what was it? Sigfredo had to take one back. I think there may have been a Nissan. It wasn't a Sentra. It wasn't 2004. I think maybe an Altima. I don't remember, but it's a hire car. It's a hire car. You're obviously not going to take a Charger or fucking, I think the majority, there's a picture of the lot where the rental place is. Any one of them, they all look the same, roughly, but with those differences as we just saw.
Just read those few sentences there, and then I will draw your attention to page 2 when you're ready. Did your mom ever refer to your husband as an asshole,
Yes.
a bully,
Yes.
a zealot,
A religious zealot. Yes.
a jackass,
Yes.
a religious extremist?
Yes.
What about gib?
Jeff's car was 2004, Mindy. Yes. And run down, duct tape on the fenders and so on,
Gibbers? She calls him gibbers?
Yeah, Tippers is not a bad name. It was a silly name that I came up with during a period of time when I felt incredibly terrorized by Danny. And so it was a word that I would use to kind of make him seem less scary.
Is it fair to say that it was a derogatory term?
No,
Okay, but you came up with it directly in relation to him terrorizing you.
I did. It was a way to take the steam out of a situation I found scary. I wouldn't say it was derogatory. I just think it was.
And when you say scary, are you alleging physical abuse?
I'm not alleging physical abuse.
Did your brother ever mention hiring a hitman to kill your ex-husband?
He never mentioned hiring a hitman. He told one bad off-color joke where he said he had bought me a TV when I got divorced and said it was a present, and made a very bad joke and bad taste that it was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
And was
But no,
that, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay.
What else were you gonna say?
I think that was it.
All right, was that a joke that your brother made one time or more than one time?
He has a tendency to repeat himself, so everything he says multiple times.
Do you know how many times he said it?
I have no idea, but definitely twice at least.
And it was your understanding that he had not made any actual efforts to hire the hitman?
Yes,
But you did get a TV as a divorce present.
I did get a TV.
We still don't know, Michelle, why Donna insisted on calling Professor Markel Elvis. In all of her emails, or not all of them. In one of them, she keeps calling him Elvis, and we've never been able to understand why.
Do you recall going to Miami for Father's Day in June, right before Dan Markel was murdered?
I don't have a strong memory of it, but it sounds like something I might have done to visit my dad.
Okay, did you previously testify in reference to this same photograph or a similar photograph?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and did you testify at that time?
Objection, Your Honor, improper impeachment. We're fine if it's
We'll return to it, Judge.
All
Just
right,
give me a
that's
minute.
sustained.
All right, and did you have any contact with this defendant since the murder in any kind of way, any communication?
No.
Did you have any contact with her in any way on the day of the murder?
No. Yeah, I don't really understand. It's my best recollection that I set up the appointment for them to come.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes this happens now where there's a different number on the account, so they call the wrong account. So they could have called my mom and she would have said, no, call my daughter. They need to confirm with you.
Okay, but your mom does indicate that she is sending the guy to your
No,
house.
she indicates that she was called by Best Buy. So that means she was called by accident since they were coming to my house.
Okay. And did you have an appointment scheduled in your calendar, fixed TV?
I did. I thought they were supposed to come sometime between 8 and noon. And then they came pretty early, I think, 9 or something like that.
All right, and did you delete, shown on the far right column there if you need to refresh your recollection, but did you delete that appointment to have the TV fixed?
I'm usually kind of OCD about this, so after I have a meeting, I'll delete it if it's done. I use my calendar kind of like a to-do list, so I'll have the meeting and then I'll delete it.
Okay.
So I must have deleted it once they arrived or sometime later.
Okay, and right before the message that indicates, that's from your mother that we just talked about, Best Buy called,
Okay.
there's a message that says, "This is so sweet." Who is
Objection,
that
Your Honor.
message to?
Objection.
Hold on, what's the objection?
Hearsay, Your Honor. Item is in evidence.
That's sustained.
All right, can you say who the message before the Best Buy message, who did you send that message to?
It looks like I sent that message to my brother.
Your brother Charlie?
Yes.
All right, and that message was deleted as well?
I always delete my messages. But yes, it looks like I deleted it at some point.
I always delete my messages. I get a message and I instantly delete it. Just as a rule. I'm the only person on planet Earth that does that. Because my messages are a to-do list. What?
All right. And that message, what were you referring to in that message, if you know?
I have no idea.
All right, but it was sweet, whatever it was.
I mean, 8 years ago, I have no idea what was sweet.
So did Best Buy show up and repair the TV?
Yeah, I get it's a slight, Christina, to call Dan Elvis. I mean, anything Donna refers to Dan as is going to be a slight. I mean, is it because she's saying that Dan thinks he's the king? You know, like, I don't know.
That morning?
They showed up and they tried to repair the TV, but I needed to make a call of whether it was worth repairing or whether I should just get a new one, because the repair costs I remember being expensive.
Mm-hmm. And this was, how old was the TV at this point?
I don't know. I don't think it was very old, just a couple of years.
Well, it was given to you as a divorce present at the time of your divorce, right, in 12?
Right, so it wasn't that the TV was old. I think one of the kids had thrown something at the screen, so it cracked it.
Okay, but the fix was done in 14, or the attempted fix?
The attempted fix was in
Okay.
14.
All right, so the repairman did show up that morning, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you did not recall your mom making that appointment, but was it usual or typical for your mom to get involved in that type of minutia of your daily life?
No.
It would be unusual if she did that.
I mean, it would not be unusual for her to try to help me with various things, so it doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility, but I remember distinctly.
Good one, Jibs and Jabs. Is it because Elvis will be leaving the building? I like that. Suspicious minds.
Setting it up for that morning of sometime, like when you wait for a repairman to come, they come in a window, they say between 9 and 1. I remember there being a window they had told me.
And do you remember the specific window in this case?
I keep thinking it was 8 to 12, but I don't know if that's correct.
Okay, and we're talking about 8 a.m., between 8 a.m. and noon. And you agree that your ex-husband, sorry, I keep doing that, was murdered between 8 a.m. and noon?
I don't know the exact time of when it happened.
Really?
Between 8 a.m. and noon?
Yes.
I mean, yes, but I thought it was closer to 10 or 11.
Okay. But the question was it between 8 a.m. and noon?
Yes, it was between 8 a.m. and noon.
All right. And did you leave your residence at all that day after you got the TV, or the TV man came?
After the TV repairman came, I did a little bit more work from home. I talked to a couple of friends, and then I made plans to have lunch with 2 friends that I frequently saw on Fridays. And we made kind of a last-minute plan to have lunch. And then I had a few errands to run before I met them. So I did that. I picked up gas. I picked up something I needed for a party that night. And then I went to meet my friends for lunch.
All right. And do you know what time you left the residence that day?
I don't. My guess is somewhere around noon.
And then went and ran your errands? On the way to run your errands, did you go by the crime scene?
No.
On the way to run your errands, did you encounter a roadblock on Trescott?
I did.
All right, so you did turn off of Centerville onto Trescott.
I did.
All right, and when you encountered a roadblock, what did you assume the problem was there?
I figured it was just an electrical storm or something. There was some tape, and it looked like the road was blocked off, and so I just turned around and went back and went up Benton.
And had there been an electrical storm that morning?
I didn't remember an electrical storm, but in the summertime there's always trees falling and rainstorms, so pretty normal.
Right, and you weren't concerned based on that experience that there could be something going on at your marital home?
Absolutely not.
And your
Yes, of course she's testifying in Donna's case.
ex-husband, Dan Markel, had your children at that time, right?
No, he did not.
Okay, so you had your children at that time?
No, my children were at preschool at that time.
Right, but who took them to preschool that day?
Danny would have taken them to preschool.
Okay. So it was his day. He was killed on his parenting day.
It was the day he would have brought them to preschool, and I would have picked them up.
All right. Did they spend the night with him the night before?
They did.
Okay. And you hadn't seen your children yet that day when you encountered the roadblock?
On Friday, no.
Okay. And were you on the phone when you encountered the roadblock? If you
I was.
remember? Do you remember who you were speaking to?
I do.
Who was that? You don't have to say the name, but just what type of person was that?
He was a friend. I hadn't caught up with him a long time. He'd moved to England, so I was probably a little distracted talking and catching up with an old friend.
Okay. And when you encountered, at the time that you encountered the roadblock or shortly thereafter, did you call the daycare?
No.
Did you call Dan Markel?
No.
Did you do anything to reach out to any of the players that we've talked about in this case?
No.
Did you communicate to anyone that there was a roadblock?
I didn't. I would have had no reason to do that.
Was Dan Markel scheduled to leave town the day after he was killed?
I believe so.
Where was he going?
He was going to New York.
And that's where he had a girlfriend?
That's where his girlfriend lived.
Do you know how the killers knew that Dan Markel was planning to leave town the next day?
I have no idea.
You didn't relay that information to anyone?
Absolutely not.
Did you have WhatsApp on your phone at the time?
I really don't know. I have it now. I don't know if I had it 8 years ago.
Did you communicate with anyone on WhatsApp or a similar technology to relay any information about the murder of your husband?
Absolutely not.
Do you know if your brother Charlie had WhatsApp at the time?
I have no idea.
Did you communicate with him through WhatsApp?
If I had WhatsApp on my phone, then maybe I did. I know I had friends who lived around the world. At that time, WhatsApp was more of a technology used to talk to people internationally. So I know the friend I was talking to was in England. If I had WhatsApp, I would have used it to call him.
Did you know that WhatsApp, the communications are encrypted, they cannot be retrieved by law enforcement? Were you aware of that?
I think they can be retrieved by law enforcement, but it's one of the end-to-end encryption services.
All right, and so you can't tell the jury whether you communicated through WhatsApp at all on the day of the murder?
I don't remember if I had it 8 years ago. I have it now, so we could look and figure out if I had it then, but I don't know.
All right, did you ever communicate with Catherine Magbanua at any time through WhatsApp?
I never communicated with her at all.
When you left the residence and encountered the roadblock, where were you headed?
When I left my residence, I was headed to ABC Liquors to get an item that was requested for a Stock the Bar party I was supposed to go to that Friday night.
And what was that item?
I'm sorry?
What was the item?
It was bourbon.
What type of bourbon?
Bullet bourbon.
She should have said, I have no idea. I don't know. I think it was Jim Beam. Bottle of Jim Beam. You see, that just wouldn't... I bet she looked at the Jim Beam and, well, you know. If Dan's name was Jim or Beam, if he was Professor Beam, that would be great. But it's not. Imagine if there was a bourbon called Markel. I'll go for the Bullet.
The invitation had asked specifically to bring a bottle of Bullet bourbon, so I went to the store and asked them where I could find that.
And the bottle of Bullet bourbon.
Not an inside joke, showing my intimate knowledge of our shared family plot. No. It wasn't something that I could quietly and evilly chuckle to myself while having a shot when all of this is when I'm done with escaping arrest. It wasn't something that I could finish the bottle of in one night to myself with no eyes and, you know. Bullet bourbon. We had an invitation. They asked for everybody to bring bullet bourbon. They've asked every single guest to bring bullet bourbon.
Ben was in your vehicle when law enforcement came to interview you about this case.
Right, when I told law enforcement they could search my vehicle and signed away all my rights, yeah.
Signed away all my rights. I'm the victim. Signed away all my rights.
And was your mom able to go back to work full time once you moved to South Florida?
Yeah, my fantasy is meowses that as soon as Wendy stands up, as soon as Georgia says no further questions, she stands up to walk off the witness box and Pat Sanford is just behind her with cuffs. You know, you're under arrest and it's all on film. We don't even need body camera because there's cameras in the courtroom. That would be epic. And they shouldn't even wait for trial. They should just sit her down at defense table with her mother and let her have, she has to use Zellman and Fulford. No John LaRoe for you. You get these shit lawyers. That'd be great. Get an orange jumpsuit already.
Florida, or did she remain in the status of sort of helping with the kids a lot and working part-time?
She helped with the kids a lot, especially while I tried to get back on my feet and find work.
All right.
Thanks so much for the super chat, Michelle. Excellent. Oh, good news, guys, as well. Not only now do we have the Buy Me a Coffee extravaganza. If you want to support the channel, head over to buymeacoffee.com. Support the channel on buymeacoffee.com. But we've also got this. This brand new app. There. It's called PayPal. PayPal. I am your pal, and you can PayPal me at paypal.me/True Crime Metrix if you want to support the channel, if you like the community, if you value the community, if you value the channel, you can support it at paypal.me/True Crime Metrix, or the standard Buy Me a Coffee, which is the best, but also PayPal, because I know that the Australians love PayPal and some Americans love PayPal. So it's there, it works, and it's great. Or just leave a like on the video, that's appreciated too, that's awesome. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, everybody.
Have you ever returned to Tallahassee to live after, you said you left about 2 days after the death?
I've never come back to live. I came back to give a talk, I think twice. And then I came back for a friend's wedding. I came back for a friend's bar mitzvah. So probably came back 4 or 5 times since.
Right, but the question
not
is to reside.
I'm sorry, Ms. Kappelman. I haven't lived here
Okay.
since I left.
You've lived steady in South Florida since that date.
I have lived in South Florida.
Okay. And who has full custody of your 2 boys?
Me.
Yeah.
Do you want the culpable parties in this murder held accountable,
Absolutely.
even if it involves your own family?
Absolutely.
Do you recall giving an interview with
Especially, I think, is the word there, Wendy.
Law enforcement on the day that your ex-husband was murdered?
I recall sitting with law enforcement for 6 hours. Yes, I recall.
And did you tell law enforcement something different in that interview about the culpability of your family?
I'm sure while I sat for 6 hours completely traumatized that I said all kinds of things.
All right, and was one of the things you said while you sat for 6 hours completely traumatized that you wanted the culpable parties held accountable unless it was your family?
I don't believe I phrased it like that, and I think you're taking my words out of context, but sure.
But sure?
But sure what?
No further questions.
All right, we're going to take our break now. So it'll be about a 10, 15-minute break.
Ms. Adelson, this is all about you, isn't it?
Excuse me?
This is all about you, right?
I was called to be a witness and I'm testifying, so I don't understand the question. Is it a question?
There's about 100 people in this courtroom, right?
There are people in the courtroom.
Possibly thousands watching, right?
I have no idea who's watching.
And it's all because of your failed marriage, right?
I disagree with that.
You disagree that your ex-husband is dead because of your family.
Yes, I disagree.
These jurors are here for weeks doing their civic duty because of your marriage, right?
No.
Katie's going through this ordeal because of that marriage, right?
No.
Dan Markel's parents are going through absolute misery because of your failed marriage. Isn't that right?
No, that's incorrect.
Now, let's talk for a second about WhatsApp. And as an aside here for a second, the government asked you the question if you used WhatsApp, right? You remember that?
I remember them asking me, yes.
On the day that Professor Markel was killed, you went in for the interview, right?
I talked to the police.
And you also gave them your phone for them to inspect.
Absolutely.
So the determination of what, if any, WhatsApp was being used, they would have from the download they did that day of your phone.
Sure.
Now, would you be surprised to learn that your brother used WhatsApp?
No.
You would agree with me that WhatsApp, and you explained it well, is end-to-end encryption.
Correct.
In your lay opinion, if you can explain to the jurors, just in case they don't know, what that means.
I know that it's some.
Christopher DeCoste is the best. I mean, obviously Georgia is the best, but Christopher DeCoste is like second best. He's brilliant, especially in this cross-examination. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Thing we use at my work because essentially it has the ability to keep things more private. I also know that nothing's actually private and that anyone who wants to can uncode the messages. So that's what we tell people at our work.
So the thought is with WhatsApp, if I use my phone and I call somebody, the call could be listened to. If I text somebody, it's recordable, right?
I think so.
But with WhatsApp, you can send messages or have phone calls where there's no record of it.
I don't think that's true. I think there is still a record of it.
But the belief and the thought, I'll withdraw that question. Your lay understanding, though, is that the footprint that it leaves is much less than that of normal communications.
I think it's different, but I think it still leaves a digital footprint that's easily uncodable.
If you were to send a WhatsApp message to Ms. Kappelman, it would show that a message was sent, but it would be hard to get what the content of the message is.
I don't think that's true.
All right. Let's talk about your brother's jokes now. You don't deny that he joked about hiring a hitman.
He did.
You don't deny that he repeated this joke.
He did.
And he made this joke right before a hitman murdered Professor Markel.
I don't know that to be true.
Okay. He made the joke right before, and I'll leave out the hitman part, Professor Markel was killed.
He made the joke the morning that I talked to him.
Can you think of one person in this world that would actually hire two people to go kill Professor Markel other than your family?
Your Honor.
Ms. Adelson, please answer.
Save me, Your Honor. I'm a lawyer, and I can't object, but I want you to step in and tell Christopher DeCoste that he is very, very bad. I'm going to bring you an apple tomorrow, Your Honor. Tell me I'm good. Give me a gold star, Your Honor.
Please address me and answer the
It
question.
calls for an unbelievable amount of speculation. I mean, I'm responsible for coming up with, that's the prosecutor's duty, no? To figure out who's responsible?
You just said a moment ago that you disagree that hitmen killed Professor Markel. That's what you said, right? So my question to you is, if you're able to say, well, it wasn't hitmen, then who? Tell this jury. Who on this planet would have wanted to kill Professor Markel?
I have no idea.
All right. Let's get into that a little bit. But I want to make sure that's clear. This joke is made right before Professor Markel is murdered, right?
The joke was made many times.
It was made right before Professor Markel was murdered. Yes or no?
Yes.
July 18, 2014, you're interviewed, and you make a statement saying, I knew this would happen. You said that, right?
I did.
All right. You're a smart woman, right?
I am a smart woman.
There's information about this case everywhere. You'd agree with me on that, right?
I'd been advised by my lawyer not to read it.
All right. Now, we're not talking about reading stuff. There's podcasts,
Also not to listen.
TV shows,
Also not to watch.
articles.
Don't read. Don't read. It's like she's singing along with a kind of educational nursery rhyme or something. Also not to listen. Also not to watch. Don't read. Don't read.
I have no idea.
All right.
I have no idea.
Let's get into that a little bit. But I want to make sure that's clear. This joke is made right before Professor Markel is murdered, right?
The joke was made many times.
It was made right before Professor Markel was murdered. Yes or no?
Yes.
July 18, 2014, you're interviewed, and you make a statement saying, I knew this would happen. You said that, right?
I did.
All right. You're a smart woman, right?
I am a smart woman.
There's information about this case everywhere. You'd agree with me on that, right?
I'd been advised by my lawyer not to read it.
All right. Now, we're not talking about reading stuff. There's podcasts,
Also not to listen.
TV shows,
Also not to watch.
articles.
Don't read.
And so you've made the decision. Now, you're a lawyer yourself too, right?
I am.
And you made the decision, I'm not going to look at any of this stuff.
Correct.
I don't want to know what happened to the father of my 2 children.
Not I don't want to know what happened.
How can you say you love those boys if you don't care who killed the father that they loved?
Of course I care who killed the father that they loved.
Then why won't you look at the stuff?
I've been advised not to.
Are you afraid that when you look at it, you're going to realize that your brother did this?
I am not afraid of that.
Now, of course, you've, and we won't get into privileged communications, but you've spoken to your lawyer about the case.
How are we not getting into privileged communications? Yes, I've spoken to my lawyer about the case.
You're very intelligent. You have...
Thank you, Matthew K. Good to see you, man. Matthew says, God, I can't stand this Wendi vomit. Watch this testimony 20 times and wish I could stop, but she's such a miserable worm, I can't stop. Would take Jodi Arias any day over I am a smart woman. I am a smart woman. Don't read. Don't read. That's what I'm saying. I would take Jodi Arias out for a 5-course meal rather than... I'd spend the whole weekend with Jodi Arias rather than 5 minutes with Wendi Adelson. God.
One of the top defense attorneys in the country, former federal prosecutor John Lohr, right there in the blue suit, right?
He is my attorney.
You're telling me with all of this at your disposal, your intelligence,
His experience. You don't care to find out what happened to the father that they loved? Thank you, Jill Jane.
his experience, and all this information, that you don't care to find out who it is that killed Professor Markel?
This is not that I don't care to find out. My job is to take care of those boys, and that is what I do. I don't see how it helps take care of them to go reading and watching and soaking up all of the horrible information that's out there.
You don't realize that you could be helpful in finally untangling this, to give this jury the truth about what happened to Professor Markel?
I have been nothing but helpful since this started.
To what happened to their son? By you looking at it, you are at the center of all this, but you won't look at anything to help in the process.
I've done nothing but help in this process.
You came here and testified.
I came here and testified. I
You
spoke to
had
the
to be-
police for 6 hours without anyone present. I signed over my cell phone, my car, my house, everything, my computer. What else do I have or know that you haven't seen?
You came here because you were subpoenaed and had no choice,
Correct.
right?
This is not fun. I
You've
would not
been-
do this by choice.
You've been inconvenienced.
I've not been inconvenienced.
Professor Markel was shot in the head.
I'm not complaining about being here. This is my duty. I'm here.
We'll get back to you complaining about being here. Do you honestly expect this jury to believe that you haven't confronted your brother about all of this?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you did confront him?
Yes, I do expect them to believe that I did not confront my brother because I didn't.
Well, maybe you don't need to, because you know the truth in this case. You already know it. That he went behind your back, right?
Did not happen.
Just like he has done with past boyfriends. He's done that in the past, where he's gone behind your back when you were having problems in a relationship and dealt with it himself.
No.
Yeah,
Ms.
I
Adelson.
doubt that.
You understand that until you expose your brother what he did, that everybody's going to consider you as guilty. You understand that, right?
What is the question that you're asking me?
You understand that until you expose your...
Michelle, her use and derivative use immunity is contingent on her telling the truth, right? She's required to tell the truth in order to maintain that immunity. If it can be shown that she has committed perjury, that immunity is all ripped up, I believe. I'm sure some lawyer is going to come on now and say, well, actually, in the state of Florida, it would stand. And they may be right, but you have to, I'm not a lawyer, but I have seen one on TV.
Your brother and explain what he did, that he went behind everybody's back, that he hired a hitman to murder your ex-husband, you'll remain guilty in the eyes of the world.
I can't speak to the eyes of the world. I can only know that I have done nothing wrong.
Or maybe you are guilty.
I am not guilty.
So,
maybe you are guilty. I just love the way. Has anyone seen The Winslow Boy with Robert Donna? He reminds me of that. Everyone talks about Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck. The Winslow Boy, Robert Donna. That's who Christopher DeCoste reminds me of. Maybe you already know the truth. Maybe you are guilty. It's like it's a thought in his mind that he's just putting out. It's great.
what he did, that everybody's going to consider you as guilty. You understand that, right?
What is the question that you're asking me?
You understand that until you expose your brother and explain what he did, that he went behind everybody's back, that he hired a hitman to murder your ex-husband, you'll remain guilty in the eyes of the world.
I can't speak to the eyes of the world. I can only know that I have done nothing wrong.
Or maybe you are guilty.
I am not guilty.
So, a witness in this case, and I'm not going to get into their testimony, but one of the hitmen, the convicted hitman, implicates you. On July 17, 2014, the day before the murder, the morning before, he says that you were walking on Trescott with the two boys, that you walked down the driveway and into the house.
That never happened.
Right, because Professor Markel, I apologize, Professor Markel, he had the kids. Based on the way that your guy's schedule was, on that day he would have had the children in the morning, and you're going through such a bad divorce, you wouldn't be at his house, right?
I wouldn't be at his house anyway, but not because we were going through a bad divorce. At that time, things were pretty copacetic.
Oh, so we're coming back to maybe you do know, or maybe you were involved.
Excuse me? What's the question that you're asking me?
I'm giving you a header of what we're talking about so that it will ease you in the question, okay? I'm just telling you what the topic that we're on, so we'll get to a question. Now, the government asked you about a time that you met Miss Magbanua. It was actually spring break of March 2014, right?
I believe so.
You went down to Miami, you stayed with your brother Charles.
I went down to Fort Lauderdale after being in Immokalee and stayed with my brother.
You then went to Miami Beach to Yardbird and had dinner outside with your boyfriend at the time, or who you were dating, Jeffrey Lacasse. Catherine McBanwell was there, and your brother Charles Adelson, and you all ate outside, right?
We did.
And that's on Miami Beach, not in Fort Lauderdale.
Correct.
Now, just for context, Jeffrey Lacasse, he was also an FSU professor, not at the law school, but an FSU professor. Nice guy, right?
I don't think so now.
Now, you deny, I'm assuming, that on July 13, 2014, you told Jeffrey Lacasse that Charles looked into hiring a hitman. You deny that, or you admit that?
I deny that.
And that you told him that Charles looked into hiring a hitman back in September of 2013.
That never happened.
Which would have been months before your brother even met Catherine McBanwell.
I don't remember when they met.
Letting you know the topic we're on, we're talking about you being involved. That same week, earlier in the week, you sent an email. We're talking about the week of the murder now, not spring break, the week of the murder, not Yardbird, the week of the murder. You sent an email to Jeffrey Lacasse saying that you wanted to break up, that you needed space, right?
I did.
Sent him a long email, stay away, we're broken up, right?
I did.
You knew that on July 18, 2014, Jeffrey Lacasse was leaving town to go on a trip, right?
I knew he was leaving at some point that week. I don't remember when.
You knew that he was leaving on the same day of the murder at the same exact time as the murder.
I don't think I did.
11 a.m. on July 18, 2014.
I don't think I knew when he was leaving town.
It's a good way to put the blame onto somebody else. You'd agree on that, right? If it happened, it would have been a good way to put the blame on somebody else.
I have no idea when he was going to leave town.
Your interview, July 18, 2014, you said, my brother, he joked about hiring a...
You're aware that the hitman drove up here in a car that was barely similar and the wrong color, right? And a different brand, a different make. You're aware that that would have been a very...
hitman. Perhaps that was you just planting a seed to divert the attention of law enforcement away from you.
It was not.
Miss Adelson, we started this by saying that this is all about you. It started with you because of this marriage, right?
No. Well, you had tried to say that, but I don't agree.
Miss Adelson, I'm going to make one final attempt through questions to implore you. You understand that you can't protect your brother Charles, who's going through this case, and protect yourself at the same time. You understand that, right?
I'm here to share the truth with you. I don't know how to answer the question.
Then please end the madness and share the truth. Will you please share the truth with this jury?
I've been sharing the truth since I walked in here. I've done nothing but share the truth.
You know what happened.
I just came in here and shared truth. And sweets. But mostly truth.
Here, despite your claims to the jury that you haven't looked at anything, you haven't discussed with anybody, and you haven't confronted your brother, You know what happened here, right?
I do not know what happened here, and if I did, I would have shared it with the police 8 years ago.
You know that
Whoa.
your brother.
Can you imagine if Wendi Adelson was this pissed off in a setting less formal than a court of law? I think this is the animal, the vicious animal. We get a little glimpse of the vicious animal that Jeff told us about, right? What does she say? She says, I have done nothing but share the truth, and if I how can I tell you anything I don't know? If I don't know anything, I would have told you 8 years ago. It's very, if she were in an apartment right now, she'd be throwing a wine glass at someone's head.
That you haven't looked at anything, you haven't discussed with anybody, and you haven't confronted your brother. You know what happened here, right?
I do not know what happened here, and if I did, I would have shared it with the police 8 years ago.
You know what she sounds like? She sounds like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast after he gets back from the rescuing bell for the from the wolf with the wolves. He's like, well, if you hadn't have run away, this wouldn't have happened. Well, you shouldn't have been in the West Wing.
You know that your brother. You know that your brother went behind your back, don't you?
I do not.
Oh, I want to see it just one more time because she really gets mad.
No. Well, you had tried to say that, but I don't agree.
Ms. Adelson, I'm going to make one final attempt through questions to implore you. You understand that you can't protect your brother Charles, who's going through this case, and protect yourself at the same time. You understand that, right?
I'm here to share the truth with you. I don't know how to answer the question.
Then please end the madness and share the truth. Will you please share the truth with this jury?
I've been sharing the truth since I walked in here. I've done nothing but share the truth.
You know what happened here, despite your claims to the jury that you haven't looked at anything, you haven't discussed with anybody, and you haven't confronted your brother. You know what happened here, right?
I do not know what happened here, and if I did, I would have shared it with the police 8 years ago.
You know that your brother. You know that your brother went behind your back, don't you?
I do not.
Like he always does. This is something that he has always done, isn't it?
It is not.
You found out after that your brother had done this and gone behind your back. That's why you were thrown up at that dinner, right?
No, it's not.
You know that it didn't involve Katie either, right?
I don't know anything about
If you're not going to say all of that and finally give the truth, why don't you just admit to this jury that you're guilty?
because I'm not guilty.
One brief moment, John. I got nothing further.
Redirect.
Thanks, Matthew. Wendy's perfume, Complicit, is Estee Lauder, on sale for $1/3 of $100. God, I can't stand how she makes me want justice for Jody. Donna Ape, Wendi Lizard. Yeah, right? Set Jody free.
You were asked about the reason why you stopped contact for a period of time between your ex-husband's parents and your children.
Yes.
And you referenced a letter that you characterized as the grandparents threatening to put the children in
She
foster
opened the
care.
door.
Is that an email that was sent from the Markels to my office?
Yes.
Okay. And that was in reference to, in the event that you and the people that care for these children, who at the time were very young, were arrested, that the grandparents wanted to make sure, because they live in Canada, right?
They do.
They wanted to make sure that a specific organization could be contacted to care for the children so that someone was there to care for them until a relative could get there.
I don't
Right.
remember the bit about a relative getting there.
Okay, well, they weren't just going to leave them in foster care, right?
I don't know.
Okay. But the specific nature of the email, you will agree, was in the event that there's some kind of mass arrest, because they don't know who's getting ready to go to jail next, right? I mean, they're not privy to the investigation any more than you are, right? Law enforcement investigations, they're secret.
Sure.
Okay. And their concern, would you agree the concern ultimately in the email was for the care of the children?
The concern was to make sure the children were under good care, but as their mother, I know they're always under good care with me,
Right, but
and there's no
the
need for
email
foster care.
contemplated you not being available to care for them.
That's not possible.
Because it's not possible for you to get arrested.
Correct, because I've done nothing wrong and I believe in our justice system.
Okay. Well, just wanted to clarify the nature of that. In this case, you were asked about, why aren't your parents coming to testify? You, as you mentioned, gave a police interview in this case, right?
Correct.
And consented to the search of your phone, etc. You gave testimony in this case, right?
Yes,
All right. And your parents did not, correct?
they did not give testimony.
They have not testified. They
They've
have
not been
not given a
asked to
police.
come testify, but they would if they were asked.
Okay. And have they given any police interviews?
They would have, but the police never contacted them.
The police did contact them, didn't they? And they refused.
No,
Are they represented by counsel?
they are represented by counsel.
And they'll come testify if we want them to.
If they are under state subpoena, just like I was, they would come testify.
All right. And do you know what they would testify to?
They would testify to whatever they know.
And do you know what they know?
I have no idea what they know.
They've never told you.
No,
You've never asked them
no.
because you never had any conversations with them about this murder.
I've been advised by my counsel not to.
All right. So nobody, including your brother Charlie, has admitted or denied to you any involvement in the murder one way or the other.
Correct.
Same with your parents.
Correct.
One moment, please, Ronnie.
Okay.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank
You want her subject to recall?
No, sir. She's free to go about her business.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you.
See ya.
All right, let's put Miss Rodriguez back on the stand.
How short is John LaRoe? I mean, what is with that? Okay, we're going to skip forward in time. So, at this point in time, Charlie's just been arrested like last month, maybe 6 weeks ago. Of course, he won't go on trial for a while. But at this point, as Wendy walks out this door right now, Mother Donna has got 18 months of freedom left before she's on that jetway. Before she's on that jetway, trying to sneak off to Dubai to go to Vietnam. I mean, how close was that, huh? I hope they did that on purpose and just let her go all the way to the jetway. They could have picked her up at her house or picked her up at the entrance to Miami International, but they said, no, wait, this is going to be hilarious. Pat Sandwich does have a sense of humor after all. Pat Sandwich is good for a giggle. But anyway, that's 18 months away. But just before Donna's trip to Miami International to have all of her dreams crushed, she spends a lot of time nursing baby Charlie after his guilty verdict conviction. And that's what we're going to listen to now. Some jailhouse calls, old school style.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from... an incarcerated individual at the Leon County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey.
Hey, Charlie. Charlie.
How are you guys?
So this is straight after they've jury have come back and said guilty, guilty.
Okay. We're still talking to you, so that's good. We're still talking.
Sorry.
How you doing, David Anderson Kirk? What's up, y'all? Everything's good with us. Donna's having a bad day. So this is from the 6th, November 6th, and it was the 13th that she was arrested. There was another thing that happened on the 13th. I don't know if it was from this case or another case, but the 13th came up the other day. So she's got a week from this point. Busy week, huh? Busy week. Chandler had a week. Chandler Halderson had a busy week. Donna's going to have a busy week. I guess Donna's a little better of a week. More comfortable. No neck brace.
I didn't say anything. I'm sorry to say anything. It is what it is.
They didn't give you a chance. They had their minds made up. You don't walk out 3 hours.
No, trust me, it is. I knew what jurors like, and I knew what I had when I was up here. I knew what I was dealing with.
I love Charlie's mentality because when he loses, in order to feel like he still won, the way he claims that is to say that he knew he was going to lose. You see, I knew all along because I'm smart. I'm smart and I know.
Look, it is what it is.
Have you?
It is what it is. Well, what it is, Charlie, is a life sentence. You see that room behind you? I mean, that's a bit of a theatrical version. It's not quite like that, but it's going to be basically like that.
Spoken to Dan since you left?
No, I called you. Okay.
Yeah, suddenly Dan got very busy. Have you spoken to Dan since you left? Well, he is busy. He's gonna book in another 6 to 8 weeks paid hours off the top of this. Donna, I know that you want to get straight over to the appellate lawyer, but trust me, let me put the few things through. Let me get organized, Donna. You know, this was his plan all along. An opportunity came up for a hopeless case, and he provided hope for people that have none. That's all. That's all. Charge $2 million, and even when it's done, which Dan Rashbaum knew it was a dead cert to be, pretty much, 1,000,000 to 1 shot that it wouldn't have been. His very next thing is, Donna, I'm going to book in some time to handle this for you, because I'm going to do it the best way. I got to admire him for that, just not his courtroom skills.
Yeah, there's something that he told us. You need to...
You know, if you're going to con the shit out of someone to get $2 million from them, just make sure you con a fucking murderer. Then it's fine. I don't think there's any bad karma there.
Talk to him. You need to ask him what you tell my parents.
Yeah, no. I'm going to talk to him, but I'll call you in a little bit. But take his minute, relax. Not getting upset, not going to change anything. So I'm going to give you a check.
All right, call Dan, ask him to tell you what he told us, okay?
Listen, I'm fine. just take something to relax, okay?
All right, we're going to be okay, Charlie. Just please.
Take something to relax, Mom. Take a pill. Take a pill. Make Dad take a pill. Where's the bottle? Keep the bottle with you, Mom. There's family and they're self-medicating. It's unbelievable.
Give Dan a call and call us back later, okay?
Yeah, tell Mom to take something to relax.
I will.
I know what I was dealing with. She didn't take something, she don't go crazy and get upset.
Okay. Okay. I love you. We talk a little bit later, okay?
I got full power on my phone. I'll call you guys in a little bit tonight. And that's,
All right, just call Dan first, okay?
Yeah, right, Michelle. There's a suitcase on the bed open. Harvey's going through the wardrobe right now saying, okay, we're going to need formal, semi-formal, déshabillé, cold weather, wet weather, windy. You know, packing.
Call her in a little bit, but I'm calling Dan first, okay?
Okay.
Right, love you guys.
Love you, Charlie.
The caller has hung up.
Right, I did separate these so that we can get a nice jailhouse image on each call, because that's the Metrix promise.
Hey guys.
Hi, Charlie.
So
you spoke to Dan?
Been there for a while. Been there for a long time. He was okay trying to go eat to get out of the road. He stayed on it for a long time. He said he was going to call you guys when I got off the phone and I was going to call in a little bit.
yeah, he did.
He did.
Were you able to get through to Bree?
I took the break. Roller has like fallen asleep in her lap.
Okay.
She's like, when it was in a roller, I'm like, just don't say anything to him yet. There's no reason to.
No.
Yeah, I can't handle that. That's the honestly the only thing.
No. I know. You don't have to do anything now.
No. I mean, honestly, the only thing I really wanted to do is just add in my life.
Isn't this fucking amazing? The only thing I wanted to be was a good dad in my life. Well, you know, that's poetic justice. Dan Markel was over the moon to be a dad. And, you know, soaking up every moment, you know. And you and your little buddies blew him away at 41 years old. You're now 47 here, right?
Your dad, I was thought.
I know. Believe me, I know.
I just wanted to be a dad. I mean, when I was with Bree, I dated her for 6 weeks. I found out she was pregnant 6 weeks after we'd broken up. And I was like, no, I want to keep it. I want to be a dad.
I know you do.
Yeah, I know, Charlie. I know.
Take a breath.
Back to the German coffees. Thank you so much, Pinto, for the 5 cups. That is the best way to support the channel, guys. buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix, or our fantastic PayPal for all those Australians. It's taken like 2 years to set this up because I had an account before and then I couldn't change my password. You know, it's like you change your password. What's your email address? Okay, here's my email address. Then they say, okay, we're going to text you. We're going to text you a code to a number that you had 15 years ago, which I don't even know what it was because they only show you the last 2 digits. I phoned them up and that didn't work. It was a nightmare to sort it out, but there it is. PayPal.me /Metrix. But the best way is buy me a coffee. Thank you, Pinto.
Take a deep breath, Charlie, please.
But honestly, I'm like, I don't know if I'm in a state of shock.
Yeah, you're in shock. We're all in shock.
Yeah.
All in shock.
I had a feeling though, so it's not like, listen, I've been up in Tallahassee for a year and a half. I mean, I got a taste for how big this case was. I had no idea. There was no way in hell I was ever going to get a.
What do you mean you had no? I got a taste. They said I was the biggest thing since Ted Bundy. You know, I got a taste for how big this case was. I had no idea. Well, why not? We all did for years. You know, it's like, didn't you watch your ex-girlfriend's trial? Didn't you see all the podcasters and the newspapers and the 48-hour specials, the Inside Edition special, or whatever it is, you know, all those specials that they did? Oh no, I remember. Wendy's lawyer advised you all not to watch, not to listen, and don't read.
Trial up here. No,
but that's your. No.
Listen, even with the jury consultants, they ended up using X's on people that were like fucking horrible. Like not even like selection. It was just like get the people off that you like. I mean, honestly, I sat there and like the same people that I said let's X off our jury. To be honest with you, were the same.
And I just love how not only did Daniel Rashbaum rinse these fuckers dry, but he also brought in his buddy Josh. He was like, you know what we need here, Charlie? We need a top-notch jury consultant. That's what we need to get inside the minds of the jury pool, right? Knowing full well the format of jury selection and how it's geared and what the rules are, and, you know, the jury pool is so large, or at least it was for this case. It was like over 100 people. And Georgia does that day in, day out. You don't think she knows how to, you know, create an advantage? You don't think she knows the jury members that you're going to want on your jury? And how to, you know, shift those to the end of the options so that by the time you've gone through your black balls, you can't use them anymore. It's like checkers or something. King me, motherfucker. You know, it's quite an interesting system, the format of how jury selection works. I don't know if I could describe it right now, but it's pretty cool. The point is that paying a fucking $1 million for Josh Dubin to come in and scowl at everybody was a waste of money, you know. And Daniel Rashbaum knew that, but he knew that he could make a sale. And you think Josh Dubin doesn't owe Daniel Rashbaum one? Oh, he owes him big. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I did buy that house on the shore. Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, we're having the hardwood floors installed this week, and all the bathrooms redone. We got a great deal on the fixtures for the bathrooms. We've had them all melted down and cast from the melted down spoons of Napoleon Bonaparte's dinnerware. Yeah, got a sweet deal.
Same thing with the jury consultants were like, yeah, you can't have these people on your jury. So it wasn't even like picking good people. It was about just keeping the fucking horrible ones off that we couldn't have come on. There was no like, every time I said, oh, this one, I had the same numbers down that we had to get rid of. That I had on my paper that they had to get rid of. There was no, you know.
I know. It was, listen, these people didn't deliberate. We know what happened. They were decided before. They went back, filled out their papers, and came out. That's not a deliberation. They look.
That's all. If they all agree, there's no need to go in and retry the case between the jury members. You know, the jury members will go into the jury room and they'll say, okay, before we get started, let's have a quick show of hands on where everyone is. Now, who thinks he's innocent? And no hands go up. Okay. Who votes that he's guilty? All hands go up. That's it. That's the end of the deliberation. You know, really, then it's just filling out the forms. And Donna's like, no. We know what happened. We know what they did. That fucking crooked hick jury.
A couple things. I got them in. They probably ate for an hour. And then talked about some stuff. Went through this paperwork, filled it out.
Oh yeah, they had dinner there as well. So they spent an hour eating dinner, filled out the forms, and came back. Meanwhile, Charlie's been listening to Dan Rashbaum. He's saying, you know, one thing Dan Rashbaum was doing was showing Charlie text messages he was getting from associates, saying, look, they think we're doing really well. They think this is coming off great. I'm getting feedback. I'm getting excellent feedback. They said you did great on the stand. You were a 95, you know, all that stuff. Why is he doing that? Building up Charlie's hopes that I'm going to be driving you home, you know. He's doing that because he knows that if he's saying to Charlie, listen, this isn't going well, he looks out of his depth, right? But the way Dan Rashbaum played it is those people that were texting the positive feedback, I bet that was a setup. I bet that was like, you know, Dan had said, listen, whatever it looks like, just send me some texts as we go through trial saying this is going really well. You've got this. I think he's going to get an acquittal. You know, because as Dan is representing that to Charlie tells Donna, and I bet Daniel Rashbaum also reports that to Donna, he's looking like Golden Boy all the way through. And when it comes to the guilty verdict, it's crooked Tallahassee and crooked Kappelman that are to blame, right? Not Golden Boy Dan. Dan gets paid. Dan picks up the extra work for the appellate lawyer. You know, it's all about just him getting the money. And you can tell that from his piss poor performance. Maybe Daniel Rashbaum, if he had anything to work with, could do a good job. We don't know. We may never know.
Because they went all the way to, like, I guess 1:30 with the opening stuff. And they probably took lunch till 2:30.
Yeah. It is deliberate. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing.
When they came in and I saw when they came in this morning and nobody looked at me, I knew because they'd already made up their mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I went with my gut instinct for life.
Dan did a great job. You spoke well. They listened to nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Dan did a great job. You spoke well. They listened to nothing. Tallahassee. It's amazing to me that they've still got this hatred of the place, right? It's so funny. It's like, get over it. This is exactly what got you in the mess in the first place. And you just appear as such a snob, you know?
They cut and pasted emails, they cut and pasted lines from text messages and gave it their own meaning. You know, like, oh, kissy face. Oh, like...
I saw what they did. Oh, it's a mistake.
Yeah,
like it's nothing.
It was like, I don't know, it was like like they dressed it up into something it wasn't. They just, I don't want to talk about it. I'm in shock. I'm partly in shock, partly not surprised, partly just certain things. I don't want to go into it, but I just wish I went with my gut instinct. My gut instinct was not go with that.
And of course, his gut instinct was to run away to a non-extradition country, and now he's, without saying it directly, he's conveying that to Donna, like, you need to go. You need to get yourself to a non-extradition country. I wish I'd have gone with my gut instinct. Know what I'm saying, Ma? Do you know what I'm saying, Ma? I wish I'd have gone with my gut.
I wish I would have gone with my gut more like what it's about, right? You guys take care of yourself. I mean, I'm not saying I needed you guys getting sick out there. One more thing on my head.
Yeah, no.
Yes, I don't have much. You know, I don't really have much in life anymore. So it was something happened to you guys.
Yeah, well, we'll be fine.
We'll stay tough for you, Charlie. We'll stay tough.
Stay tough, Dad. Fucking downing a bottle of Xanax right now. He's on his 16th pill, but he's gonna stay tough. Stay tough on the couch. You know, lying down on the couch, completely Xanaxed through the yin-yang. Yeah, we'll stay tough. We'll stay sleepy and tough.
Come see me. You know, again. Kind of what it's going to be like. But I did ask Dan if they put me in, if they maybe get me in some protective, it's called protective management. Where people are like, that I guess have high profile cases or people that are like police officers, when they go into custody, they put them in certain areas, but they can't put them in general population. I heard there's camps that are like that. They're in shock. He said they're going to work on that. They're going to work on the appeal.
Right.
I mean, listen, it's such a high profile. You know, it's like you have to get an appellate lawyer. It's such a high profile case that, I mean, listen, everyone's saying all the right things. Listen, I had a good life. I did. There was about 45 out there. And,
let's see what develops. Just let's be patient.
Yeah, no. Trust me, the judge gave these people plenty of warnings. I'm sure they followed their little instructions.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
So listen, these are people who took a Appleton. These are all people from Tallahassee. There's no way there's no way if Mr. Clinton under a rock. There's no way you don't know about this case. You know, this is the biggest. This is like this is the biggest case they've had up here.
I don't think the hot mic is tonight, Michelle.
You know, from the 80s.
Charlie, they weren't listening. They weren't listening to anything, because if they had a brain and they were listening, it was very clear.
Yeah,
but they don't listen. They just go. They just do.
they don't listen. They just go. They just do. Well, now who's speaking in 2-letter words, Donna? Go and do.
They don't listen.
And they're hammered with someone like Georgia Kaplan, who makes it real simple for them.
She didn't even. She had no evidence. She had nothing.
No. They had emails. Look at the emails. Oh, look at the emails. Which is.
The emails that never mentions anything about danger or violence.
I trust me. I know that it's not how they're not for they use it to paint a different picture. To paint the picture. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ, they made a deal about me calling the home hotline. We've had it since 1979. Like, he only lived there for 3 months in 2014. So we were only there 90 days in 14. They ran a chart going to 16. Well, yeah, it's because the house was sold in 15, and you're only there 90 days. And there's nothing special about calling my home phone, but they put up a pie chart, and they made it look like there was something very suspicious about calling you at home.
It's just
Yeah, that you only called the home like 0.2% of all the calls of the year on the landline.
they painted a picture without evidence. That's what they did.
Yeah, they literally they had a theory. I don't know what to talk about anymore.
Yeah, there's no point. There's no point right now.
No, I can't really talk on it. Even though this is calling on a landline.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Right.
All right.
Exactly. So it's only for the night that they moved me over to E1 because when you get convicted, they lower your sentences like this. They want to do it
Say that again. They're moving you?
No, they already did. When I came back to the jail, like, I had to roll up my stuff and moved me to E1.
And
but
what is that?
They let me keep my clothes. I'm not in my regular cell anymore. They have me in a suicide cell.
Is it your own cell?
Yeah, it's my own cell, but it's got a hole in the wall and shit on the ceiling. I can't see the glass, and it's got a video camera. People fucking screaming.
I know, I hear them.
And I'm just like in my little cell, like a solitary green cell with lights on. I can't see out. Like I said to the officer, put me in here. I'm like, listen, I'm not suicidal. But I guess whenever you're convicted and stuff, they put them in one of these for observation. The chief of the prison can come talk to me tomorrow. They're going to have a therapist come talk to me tomorrow. I'm not suicidal. You can't leave me in here that long. You crazy one of these cells. They know they can talk to you in the morning. They get moved. I'll probably get moved back to my pod and back to my cell. They just do this, I guess, precautionary thing.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's what they sometimes, right?
Not even believable. Unbelievable.
I don't want to say no way to any of the fellow players. This case is so big. It was so publicized. So this isn't some guy trying to get an appeal on the case. This was like what had to be sold. Up here. They had live coverage. They had, they pull out all the stops. It's not something.
I know. I know what they were
making a mistake. You know what I mean? It's not like, we thought for some minutes they got started back on appeal, or the judge made a super ruling. They were dotting every I and crossing every T. I love you guys.
I love you, Charlie.
I love you, Charlie. I love you. I love my
Get
whole
through
heart.
tonight and get
Please.
through tomorrow, and just call us anytime, please, okay?
Yeah, no, listen, take something so you don't end up having a heart attack tonight, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Listen, I love you guys a lot, okay?
I love you too.
I love you, Charlie. My whole heart. I love you. Please. I love
Please
you.
understand, just take care of Roman for me and keep an eye out for him.
You know I will.
We will.
I know it.
And then,
Charlie.
that's Wendy. By the way, I wrote Ben like a month ago. He never wrote me back.
I know. I'll find out.
Yeah. All right.
They don't like
No, that's it. Yeah, no. How's Wendy doing?
I can't talk to her. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't talk to her?
I did not talk to her. I can't do it. I can't talk to her. Anybody else but you, Dan.
Yeah.
Listen, I love you guys a lot, okay? Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be strong.
I know you will.
And Dan's gonna look out for me. They're gonna try to. I already told them, so don't harass them about it because I've already spoken to them, said it twice, and they said they're definitely gonna look into it and do what they can.
Exactly. I know.
They're definitely going to look into it and do what they can. Look into what? We have the jury forms, the verdict forms.
Okay.
Say that again.
Yeah, about the protective, trying to get me into the protective management.
Protective management.
Right.
And look, I don't want you guys. I know.
So that's your best case scenario, right? To hang out with a load of pedophiles, child molesters, corrupt cops, and who else do they put in there? Gang dropouts. That is the single best case scenario right now, Charlie. And a pouch of tuna.
I just don't want you guys getting sick over there.
We won't. You just be strong, okay? And it will be fine.
Yeah,
you're strong.
I've been dealing with this for how many years now? You know, it's like.
I know.
Now you get what I listen. I haven't been myself. Listen, for me, for how many years for how many years I had it was hard to be normal with everything going on. It's kind of, and I still try to work and it still works. And I'm still I don't think nobody ever got what was going on in my head. And I can tell you.
No, I know that.
Nobody ever knew. But I always had like I always had a feeling.
No, I know that. I know that.
I remember, honest to God, I remember the last time that we all went to the sushi with Rome, and we were taking video. You don't really want to know what I was thinking in my head.
We'll take care of Roman, but just hang in there, okay?
Hang in there, Charlie.
I'm good. No, listen. I woke up today in jail. I was going to bed in jail. Nothing changed for me. Unfortunately, we didn't win. I don't even say it. I'm still in shock. I'm still honest.
Unfortunately, we didn't win. It's not the end of the football season, There's no next chance next year, other chance next year, This is it. This is the big kahuna.
I know. I cried a little bit when I got in the cell, but I'm still.
You're strong. You're strong.
It's set in, but it hasn't set in, and it just.
Of course not.
It doesn't feel real, and it's almost like, if it makes any sense, it feels like it's no different than it was yesterday. I'm just in the same cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's like my worst fucking nightmare, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I know. I know, Charlie. I know. It's for all of us. It's for all of us, Charlie. It is for all of us.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either. We're here, Charlie. We're here. And anything that can be done, we're going to try to do. You know that.
No, I know, but don't. Do me one favor and don't get sick. Listen, tonight, please take something now if you haven't already.
We already did.
We did, Charlie. We did.
Take another one. But listen,
all right.
I love you guys. You're my parents.
I know.
I love you, Charlie. I love you.
We love you more than you do.
But
hang in there. I don't.
Acapella, I think Harvey actually made an effigy by stuffing old newspaper into Donna's clothes and just lies down on the bed with this, put a little knot at the end of the trouser legs, and a little rustly, but a few sprays of the perfume, maybe an old mop to serve as a wig, string mop, and he's good to go. He probably thinks it is her.
I want to make you cry, so you're just taking it easy tonight, okay?
Again, if I want to quit tonight.
Yeah, call us anytime.
Anytime.
We're up.
Anytime, Charlie.
Okay.
Please, anytime.
Okay. Okay.
Love you. Love you. Love you.
Bye, sweetheart.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Yeah, right, Christina. Think back, Donna. Think back to those text messages. I know you won't let me down with Dad's birthday gift. Any progress on the gift? There was pressure. It was her pushing him. If she didn't want it so bad, he wouldn't have done it. He didn't give a fuck. Well, you had a bad divorce and he wants you to stay in Tallahassee. What do I care? I'm down here on the jet ski. So how's it going with Dad's big gift?
The caller has hung.
Oh, change, all change.
Hey, hon.
Hi, Charlie.
How are you guys?
We're okay.
We're all right.
By the way, I only have like $15 on my phone.
On your phone?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll take care of it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I called Mike for I talked to him for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he had texted you guys.
You did. What about commissary or eye care? What about those things?
I got food for. I'll get the food when I get back into the pod from the guys I gave it to. I'm not that hungry, and they had chicken tonight. Chili, but I ate it. And they gave me 2 packages of tuna fish back. They'll give me my food back. Last night I thought I may be getting out today, so I gave away all my commissaries that I had saved up.
Right.
But the 2 guys I gave it to, friends, they'll give it right back. It's not, they're not keeping it or anything. But I'm just.
Yeah, right, Michelle. Michelle says, my guess is this is the most free Harvey has ever remembered feeling, and he loves it. Right, I know. He's walking around the Icon in his boxer shorts. He's leaving the milk on the counter, drinking straight out of the bottle of OJ. No need to pour it into a glass. He's loving it. He's like, fuck. It's like, what it'd be like? It'd be like Kevin McAllister when in Home Alone, where he notices they've all gone to Paris and he starts doing everything around the house. Harvey's gonna order himself a large double cheese pizza and watch old movies.
Get this one cell for the night. So they just have me I'm just in a cell for the night. In the morning, the chief of the jail is gonna come see me, and they're gonna have they have like nurses that come and they're gonna ask me a bunch of questions. I mean, I'm not suicidal, but I guess they just do that so they don't have a problem with you having you under observation. I understand why they do it, but I told the sergeant to put me in here. I said, if you keep me in here long, I'm going to go fucking crazy.
No.
If you keep me in here long, I'm going to kill myself. Well, Charlie, this is Suicide Watch, so saying stuff like that, you've just added yourself another 72 hours in here, son. So funny.
Like, just because,
they'll let you go back. They'll see you're okay. They'll let you go back.
yeah, no, I'm fine. Listen, I woke up in jail. I'm back in jail. I've been here for a year and a half. I guess that was very big swing of emotions to go from like thinking you're getting out.
I know. We were all set.
Yeah.
It took a whole bunch of clothes from a couple of weeks ago. I packed up a suitcase for you, so when you came, I had it ready for you to go to a hotel with it. And I had everything ready for you. We were sure you were coming out.
I didn't, honestly, the way I've been to Tallahassee for a year and a half, I could tell the temperature up here. I could tell how everybody knew who I was. This was not a case that this was not a normal case that we should assist. This was a special case.
I know, honey.
You know,
I know.
This was not, and I said it, and I knew it, and I knew I should have. I knew what they wanted to do. You know, I stayed, and I saw it coming. I saw the freight train coming. I'll be fine. What else I can say? I'll be fine. Gotta be strong.
You gotta be strong.
Yeah. Just like the stars.
That's what it's doing, Charlie.
What's that?
I'm saying we'll try to do everything we can to help you.
Don't give up, Charlie.
No, I'm not giving it up. I just listen. This was Tallahassee Super Bowl. But when I sat, it's funny. I was so optimistic with everything. When I sat this morning and I saw what she was doing, it closed.
Wendy's not going to leave the country, Meows. There's no way. That's a fantasy. She's completely prepared for any situation. I mean, I think she quite wants to come in and win, you know? Beat Georgia Kappelman at her own game.
They kept writing down notes like, she's lying. Like, she's lying. Like, she's making shit up. Like, she's making issues of things that are not related to anything. It's not even evidence. They're just saying it's circumstantial evidence that I called my parents' home phone number. Like, and they put together an impressive pie chart that the 10th grader could figure out there's nothing special about it. But she made it out to be special. Everything was special. Everything was boom, boom. You know, Wendy's book that she wrote became like, you know, Wendy's putting down Tallahassee. Wendy never put down Tallahassee in her book, but she kind of spun on to be like,
she did not.
You know, the way Wendy looks at Tallahassee, like it was like Wendy was putting down Tallahassee. She wasn't putting down Tallahassee in her book. But it's the way it was, you know, you take the text, and you take the email, and you take the book, put some more pictures of emails up, and you got the show.
I know. Believe me.
And I'm sitting there and watching the show, and you know, at the end of the show, she's quoting Ryan Fitzpatrick, who I didn't know in 2014. Giving information on 2014, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like I spoke to the guy twice in 2014. He was my best friend in 14, evidently.
Evidently. I know, I heard it.
Like, I'm like he was my best friend in 14. And then they say, listen, whatever the thing that he gave instructions, and he told me, like, whatever the prosecutor says or the defense attorney says in closing, it's not to be construed as evidence. It's not presented as evidence. They're just summarizing things from the case. You got to listen to what you heard during the trial. It doesn't go like that. These people just look and listen to the closing, and the way everything was like spun at the closing, I was like, this isn't reality. If these people are watching this, this is not reality, but they had a 2-hour production.
Yeah, she lied. She lied several times. I know. We all caught it.
Like you did. You know, each person's, you know, has their own. It's like everybody who walks in has their own agenda, or you know, or a bone to pick, or a tail to spin, and everything just gets taken as like face value. Like I feel like a fool for even thinking or letting people convince me that I was gonna have a shot. I really feel stupid. God, you know, they say go if you've got instinct, that don't listen to anyone else. You hear me? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
The caller has hung up.
You couldn't hear me. I knew something was wrong. Yeah.
No, I couldn't. Did you hear me saying hello, hello, hello?
No, not at all. Because I was doing the same thing. Yeah, it just went quiet.
And the bars didn't go down on my phone. But,
so you've got what? The same, they take your mattress and put it in another room?
Yeah, I rolled up my mattress, and I got a blanket, and it's just in another room. So it's like a solitary cell. You know, it's got a camera in here, it's got a glass, and it's just got a bed. You know, I'll have contact with anybody. Hopefully, people won't be home all night.
Different floor or same floor?
No, picture of my pod. You can't picture it, but there's like a contact. My pod set is there 2 stories. You know, it's got a second level.
Right.
So it's got a second level and then a first level. And then on the halfway to the pod, there's a concrete wall. And then they have all the suicide on the quarter of the pod underneath all the cells up on top. So it's like set up just like the pod is, but it's got a whole wall that divides it, and then it's got 15 adults back here, 6 men, 6 women, and they got cameras in each one of them, and they have an office that sits and watches all the closed circuit cameras in each cell, and that's so there's a toilet, a sink, and it's got a bed, a slab, rolled up my mattress, and I brought it in here, and it's you know, for tonight, and I'm sure 5:30 in the morning, they're probably going to bring 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you can nurses with 6 o'clock. She can probably come through at some point, check me out of it, hopefully allow me to go back to the pod that I came from.
Yeah.
I'll be there for at least another 30 days, and then I'll be transferred. I just thought I was going to get, honestly, I thought I was going to get a fair shake, and I
Do you think he's going to miss the pod when he gets to the real prison? I bet he is. I'll be here for another 30 days. As soon as he gets to prison, he's like, oh man, I want my pod.
I'll put it this way, I never thought I was going to get a fair shake. I got led to believe that I was going to get a fair shake, and I started to believe it myself. You know, I just...
No. Dan is writing to me while we're talking, Charlie.
Yeah,
he said, hang in there, we're going to
Dan is sending me a bill right now. Another one.
Continue to fight. You just stay with it. Not giving up on you, just wait.
I know. It's just a big case for Tallahassee. It's not your normal case comes back on appeals and they let a guy go. Like that.
Yeah. Was he flying back to Miami?
He drove.
Oh, he drove.
I mean, I stayed around because I thought I would get a fair shake, but that's not what happened.
I know.
It's like I should have stayed around for this. This is not something like, I don't know how, I just don't know how Dan was so optimistic. He was very optimistic, which I appreciate, but...
Because the case was good, and he was good, and you were good. It was the jury, honey. It was just what you said.
There was no jury in Tallahassee that would have let me go. That was never going to happen. I mean, we were like outsiders up here. Let's put it that way. We were definitely outsiders and looked at as like people from another planet that shit on Tallahassee. When she started doing that whole thing about Wendy's book, I was like,
are you kidding me? I know. What is...
So, talk about if Donna is convicted. Well, in the unbelievably infinitesimal small chance that she's acquitted, that 12 of her peers... Well, that's not going to happen. Let's bring it back to reality here. Let's say in the unbelievably infinitesimal small chance that she receives a hung jury, in that one of her peers says not guilty. The only thing that could possibly be based on, maybe I shouldn't say possibly, in the realms of what's fucking sensible. Anything can happen. The only way she gets a hung jury is if she can garner sympathy from at least one juror, right? If she can act old and decrepit and in pain, and someone on the jury's got a mother the same age or a grandmother that's just gone to a assisted living or whatever, and it's just a heartstring puller. This is the only reason she's going to be taking the stand. This is what that dress rehearsal was back in, March? Where she took the stand for quite a while in the pre-trial hearing. Dress rehearsal. My point is, if Donna is convicted, that's a very poor predictor for Wendi. Well, yeah, but in a version where she wouldn't be convicted, I think we might as well say that a full acquittal, 12 peers voting innocent, is not going to happen. That would be ridiculous. Of course, it did happen for that weird kid. What was his name? But he had a shit prosecutor. Georgia's not shit. This has been half of her whole career has been doing this case. Maybe not that much. So, for argument's sake, let's just say Donna does get a full acquittal, 12 peers. It's not going to be based on evidence. It's going to be based on sympathy. And if it is based on sympathy, and Georgia Cappleman knows that, how does that change the game for Wendi? Wendy's not going to get that sympathy. She's not even 50, you know. So, yeah. I think Donna's fate is sealed. And Wendi, well, we all want to think that she'll be arrested. The only thing that bothers me about it is that she should have already been arrested. And the fact that she hasn't begs the question, why she hasn't? And there's not an obvious answer as to why she hasn't. She's not needed. She's not been needed in any of these trials. We've discussed that before. She's not needed in this. You're telling me you take away Wendy's testimony and that makes it more likely for Donna to get off? I don't think so. There's tons of evidence that's nothing to do with Wendi. So yeah, we'll see. Thank you so much, Monica, for the 10 cups of coffee. That is much appreciated. We were a little dry tonight, but now we're all wet again with coffee. Thank you.
That have to do with anything.
Well, paint the picture.
That's what
You know, like, what are you doing? Why were emails a constant, like, theme? You probably lost 80% of this. Listen, you never win. You have to get it. The best you do is, like one of the guards was saying to me, he goes, the best you're going to do is hang. You have to have unanimous. I mean, 12 people have to vote your way. I mean, you think you're going to get all 12 people to vote your way? You're crazy. Not up here. The best you do is hang. If you hang, you do it. The best you do is hang. If you hang, you stay here. You stay until they retry it. And they get another bite of the apple.
Yeah.
You know, like, these people fucking hated me.
And I get another bite of the apple. He talks in these weird, like, what's that other thing he says? They didn't give me a fair shake. He says that like 90 times in these conversations.
I mean, they looked at me like, like some guy that's making $5 million a year.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I know you weren't. Well, they're not finished, this family. You're just the start.
Well, I know.
Look, there's nothing, as you know, there's nothing you can do right now. You get through the night, you'll see these people in the morning, you get back to your cell. I'm going on to secure a staff that adds the money to the account, so we'll be okay. And you need commissary money too, right? Commissary and...
Like the commissary, man. I probably hold off on that because I got commissary money. I just need to get all my shit I gave away.
Well, check tomorrow and see what you have, and you'll tell me what to order for the eye care, okay?
Yeah, hold off until next weekend to order it. And then I think the first camp I get to, I don't think you can order commissary or something. We go a little bit without commissary. Trust me. Until I know it's safe for me to get stuff, I'm not going to. Like, wherever I go, until I know that it's safe, I'm not.
I can go a little bit without commissary. Charlie, you need to be hoovering that up right now, man. You've got 7 days before your mother's arrest. Get all the commissary you can get. Seriously, get your eye care and your tuna pouch and stock up, okay? Commissary. That should be your focus.
I'm not going to be ordering like I have, Like I had my own cell, my own badge.
You said you're going to probably go back to your own cell tomorrow, right? Charlie? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, the bars just went down for a second. I'm back.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought you'd get tomorrow you'll go back to your own cell, right? The private cell?
Yeah, I should. I'm going to be in Leon for
a month.
I'm going to be in Leon County at least for another month, because then they have sentencing, and then they'll move me after they do sentencing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only going to be here for probably a month, and then they usually do sentencing, and then they usually move you like the following Tuesday, is when the buses come. Then they move you to like an intake center. You learn all the stuff like you have to do. Kind of like they keep it like military. How they want things done, and then from there they'll tell me where they're going to ship me. Somewhere to pick apart. So last thing I need is for you guys to get sick of, because I don't really have much else.
You're going to be fine, Charlie.
Yeah.
I just need you to be okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I'm going to take a shot. I'm still in jail. I was in jail yesterday and in jail today. I'd be more comfortable if I was in my cell. I'd be more comfortable if I was around the people that I talk to.
Right.
Walk around the little rec deck area.
It's already 9:30. They'll put the lights out at 11, so hopefully you get to go to sleep. And
this time, well, I haven't had that.
They don't shut the lights off?
No, but I can honestly, I've gotten to the point I just put my head underneath the blanket, and then it's dark. I've got a sheet, and then I've got a thick blanket. So I do that, and then I can sleep.
Okay.
So I'm in here, and it's just pacing around. They don't shut the lights on. They got the cameras on it.
Okay.
Well, they have a guard sitting watching the cameras. I don't know. I just literally was really thinking I was getting out.
We all did. We all did.
That's
just a shock.
Like I came to believe I was getting out, but like the distributor in Tallahassee wasn't time. You know what I mean? It's just like the way everybody was reacting to everything. It was like everybody was drinking the Kool-Aid too much.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I should have.
I know.
I would say trust your gut instinct.
Yeah.
Like, should have trusted my gut.
I know.
Instead of listening.
Your gut's always right.
People.
Oh,
yeah. No, and then I have like, you know, people convince me otherwise, and then I'm like, oh, okay. No, cool. Should have gone with my gut instinct. It was so, trust me, it was so on, it was ridiculous. Like my gut instinct was so on, but I didn't trust my gut. You know? Like, what did we get it? Like a good gut instinct. It's a good gut instinct.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I trust me. I knew when I was sitting eating sushi with Roman that last time that I was with him. Like when we all went to sushi in Weston. Yeah. Remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I look at the pictures all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know.
So what's this? This is some sort of code, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? The sushi in Weston?
Sushi with Roman that last time that I was with him. Like when we all went to sushi in Weston. It was so on, but I didn't trust my gut. You know, like what did he get me? I have a good gut instinct. He has a good gut instinct.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I trust me. I knew when I was sitting eating sushi with Roman that last time that I was with him. Like when we all went to sushi in Weston.
Yeah.
Remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I look at the pictures all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know the video when I'm eating sashimi with him?
Yeah.
I swear to God on my life, I knew when I was sitting there taking a video with him. I just did. That's what was going through my head. You know, wasn't enjoying the moment as much as I was thinking, like, this is on video. Really, I had a weird feeling like the turtles. It was weird. It was almost like an out-of-body. I felt like it was an out-of-body experience while I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just...
I do. I was there with you.
Like, I was there, but I just felt like this was like I was literally cherishing every moment. More so than I should have been for eating sushi with my kid.
Yeah.
This is like when who's seen Prison Break? When Miles Franklin is trying to rendezvous with his family. But the FBI are looking for him, so he calls up his wife, which is wiretapped, and says, "Do you remember that picture? Do you remember that picture that we took in the Rainbow Room?" "Do you know what I'm talking about? That picture we took in the Rainbow Room." And the cops are listening and they're going, the Rainbow Room, that's a restaurant in Manhattan. And they send all the cops because he said, meet me where we took that picture, in the Rainbow Room. But what he meant was his daughter has a bedroom that's decorated with rainbow theme, and in that room there's a picture of the three of them at a local carousel in LA. It was funny.
That's all my head is just trust me.
I'm sure
I want you guys to take care of yourself because I honestly I don't have much else to manage my life with now in worse if something happens to you guys.
I know.
So, like, you need to take something to relax. Like, take something to relax.
You know, and I'm sure that Charlie is still holding on to a hope that his dad is a superhero and that could make a call, bribe some senator or something, you know, and straighten this all out for him. When his parents die, that hope's gone, isn't it? Wow. I wonder what that'll be like when we hear the news that Harvey is dead, huh? And Donna. Just one by one, they're all going to go.
So, we will. So, you know what I mean?
I do, sweetie.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I know we're going to figure out a lot.
I just hope I get to hear that Charlie has been, you know, badly injured by being hit with a padlock in someone's sock.
Shit in the next couple of weeks anyway.
Right.
Today's not the day to figure stuff out.
Not today. No.
I'm honestly, I cried a little bit myself, but I'm more just like, that you're shocked.
You're in shock. I know. You're in shock.
Okay, it's very.
You know, we all are.
I mean, I just hope.
Just.
Yeah, talking of.
What's
that?
I was just
You
going
have
to
to
say,
talk. Yeah.
just hang in there, please, because
Yeah.
things might change.
No. Things can change. I mean, miracles can happen.
That's right.
But it's number one in the case is that would have to get moved out of Tallahassee. I mean, it was an absolute joke when I was sitting there. Fucking, you know, it was a spectacle. It was literally a spectacle. Out of 152 people we had come in, 93 were honest enough to say that they already what they knew about the case and reveal their biased opinion.
Well, you only need 12, Charlie, so that's fine. 150 came in. Did he say 150 came in and 96 had heard about the case? That's fine. There's like still 54 you can have. You only need 12. All right. What? 14 with the alternates.
Number one in the case is that would have to get moved out of Tallahassee. I mean, it was an absolute joke when I was sitting there.
This is more forewarning for her, isn't it? Saying if you get arrested, which you probably will if you don't make it out, if you don't follow your gut like I should have done, make sure you get it moved out of Tallahassee.
Fucking, you know, it was
But Charlie, guess what? If you somehow manage to convince the court to give you a change of venue, they move it to the next county, the very next neighboring county. That's it. You can't choose to have it anywhere you want.
It was literally a spectacle. Out of 152 people we had come in, 93 were honest enough to say that they already what they knew about the case and reveal their biased opinion. We had 5 people on the jury with law enforcement in the family.
With law enforcement in the family.
Yeah. Like, I had a guy that was a 20-year sergeant in the Army and then retired in the post office 20 years. Or working in the post office. 20-year sergeant in the Army. Like, 20 years black sergeant from the United States Army. Like, you're not looking, like, how is a 60-year-old retired sergeant from the Army look at me? Like an alien. Like an outsider. I mean, I was a total outsider up here. This was not, nobody could have won this case up here, let's put it that way. Not even, I mean, you think Dan could be that wrong?
You know, I guess
Dan's not wrong at all. He's got all the cash he wanted.
You gotta have 12 people go your way to get out.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't have one. They didn't have fucking one.
You could only make so many X's. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the X's that really need to be used, they're X's.
Yeah. What we want, we're the Adelsons, and we want unlimited black balls. Unlimited X's for vetoing jury members that aren't white, privileged, rich Miami dentists. We need 12 rich, white, privileged Miami dentists on the jury, okay?
Charge a fair shake. Get them out of here. They used their 12 to get anybody that would have given me a fair shake that they threw. I used their 10. I used my 10 to get rid of people I needed to get rid of. You know, but I still don't, I mean, I know it's the system or whatever, but like, I still don't understand how they can be taking so many things that have nothing to do with the case, from like the whole phone number to emails to people's statements who have like vendettas. Like,
he really doesn't understand how the emails connect with, you know, the driving force of this crime, right? Donna's vicious emails, Wendy's book. He keeps going on about this like they're just random things. They're not. They show intent and cause.
and like present them like, oh, this person said this person said this person said you're arrogant.
Yeah, relocation. That was the thing, and Markel was in the way. The relocation was in the book. Relocation was in Donna's emails. It's like, Charlie, you really don't get this? Because I don't think he's doing this for show. He really doesn't get it. Which is amazing. I tell you, this family's lack of knowledge, Donna and Charlie particularly, Soap, be quiet, is amazing. If this were me, I'd be like, I'd have gotten a law degree myself if I was Charlie by now, you know?
They make a lot of money.
No, they're just trying to paint the picture.
Yeah, they throw some adjectives. You know, you think you're untouchable. I never said I was untouchable. Someone described me as that. So now you can keep referring to me. Okay. Well, you're painting me like that, and then you throw that adjective there, and then you spin it, and you come up with a fucking chart that shows that I call the home phone number only, 99.8% of the time. I never call the home phone number. What can you call the parents' own line? Like,
the prosecutor knows she threw in lies. She knows exactly what she did. She played games with a jury and got it. That's what she wanted.
And she's a Tallahassee person, and I'm not. Very simple. I just, you know what? Part of me is just mad at myself because I saw the freight train coming. I just, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
We know, Charlie. We know.
I know exactly what you saw.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the freight train's coming for you, Mom. So get out of here. I'm not sure why people think that Charlie was surprised that they fled. He's clearly telling them to flee, right? It's very clear.
So, we're taking the day off tomorrow at work. Sherry called in. They're fine with it. They understand. She was pretty upset.
Yeah, I know.
For a while.
I know.
Did you talk to her?
We've been texting back and forth. I couldn't talk. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Talk to you and talk to Dan. That's it. I don't want to talk to anybody else. But I texted, and I know. I understand. I know what happened with her.
So I didn't call her again. It's really, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't sucks.
Like, it's not even. I just don't want you guys to get sick over it.
We'll be okay, Charlie.
Try to keep it together, Charlie. We'll try.
Really, we'll try.
Do everything you can.
Yeah.
You haven't talked to Wendy at all, have you?
I told you, I'm only talking to you and Dan tonight. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I just can't.
Did you text with her at all?
I just texted. Just when the verdict came in. That was it.
What?
Just when the verdict came in.
How was she?
What?
Very upset. She's very upset.
Serious. Serious.
Meowsers says the interviews would be great to watch. Metrix. Which ones? Which interviews?
Oh, Yeah, well, I love you guys a lot.
I love you so much, Charlie. Please, I love you.
Just be strong, okay? Just be strong.
Yeah.
And we'll be okay.
No, listen, I'll be strong. Maybe call Bree again.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to call Janice. I may call her for 2 minutes just to touch base.
Hoytberg. Oh, well, maybe. I've got a lot on there's so much coming on the channel of just, it's like every day I run out of time. So we'll see.
But that's it.
Yeah. If Bree's still up, I know she'll call you. I know she'll talk to you.
And they talk to Janice for a few minutes. I don't really.
If you don't feel like yourself.
Yeah, Georgia was the prosecutor. Cool.
That's all.
Yeah, I'll call her. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
Very sweet. I really thought I was going to get out.
I know.
What else is going on?
That was you just said to me.
Yeah. Not much else.
Not much else. Not much else.
Yeah. I'm back down in PC myself.
You talk to her and then try to put your head down and just take deep breaths, you know.
I'll be all right. Take one day at a time.
That's right. Yes, you will.
That's right, Charlie.
Hopefully I'll get to see you guys soon at some point.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
No, I will. It'll be not as soon as I want it, but
we'll see you soon, Charlie. We'll talk every day. We'll see you soon.
I'll talk to you guys every day and just, what priorities do is I just want to take care of Roman as best I can.
We'll make sure that happens. And have faith, because there's a chance that this is going to change. So just have faith, okay?
Yeah, no, I do. And listen, you never know. It just has.
You never know. Yeah, life sentences always get overturned. It's probably 50-50.
In order for it to change, it definitely has to be out of Tallahassee. The jury selection was a sham.
It was a sham, actually. It was a sham.
It was a sham, and put it this way, if I would have known that she was going to be able to do what she was doing with, making the case about text messages and emails and Jeff Woodhall statements and Ryan Fitzpatrick statements and, make a whole case out of it. Jesus.
I mean,
I did not think that.
The lying was so obvious. I don't understand why they couldn't see it. It was blatant.
Well, it's not that. I mean, look, you should go to a book. You think anyone on there has read a book in the last year? I didn't even read this book, but how many people that? I mean, someone writes a book. I mean, what she say in the book? I mean, she was putting down Tallahassee in her book. She was foreshadowing some place that they were stuck in. If you took out 90% of what she was saying was just utter fluff. It was just painting a picture. I mean, you trust me, this was not, she wasn't putting on a trial, she was putting on a show. I mean, I thought it was going to be more fact-based than show-making.
Yeah. Only one side had facts, the other side was just blatant nonsense and lies. Yeah. Yeah. That's evidence.
What about the text message where I said there's 5 reasons why Wendy shouldn't buy a house in Tallahassee?
Yeah, we'll change our location. We'll be sure to send you some money when we get there for your commissary. It'll have to be in Vietnamese dong. So maybe when Chief Mac comes to your pod, you can ask him where the Bureau de Change is in the jail.
How about the one is that a house is a pain in the ass? There's constant maintenance. How about 2? My house appreciated in value by 50% by the second year I owned it. Like, I mean, there's 5 reasons. They maybe have to be like, It's just like, they didn't look at anything.
I'm sorry?
They didn't look at anything that they had to be honest with you. There was nothing.
I mean, it's really a sinful. He presented well. He did a great job. I mean, there's no complaints on that part at all. Nothing.
No, I know he worked hard. There's no doubt. This was a case he's never going to be one in Tallahassee. Never was this case going to be one in Tallahassee. That's the only thing I can tell you that's positive, 100% positive. I just kind of, I didn't expect that from the prosecution. You know,
no,
I thought it was all the show.
Such a joke with no evidence what she could pull off. It's just because that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted.
Well, listen, they painted a picture, and people hated you from the picture they painted, and that made the rest very easy.
Shameful.
Look, the number one thing I can't have is you guys get sick. So please.
I promise. I promise we'll be okay.
You need to take Xanax, take a deep breath.
Yes.
Relax. It's not worth it. Take a little less. You might as well take a little more. Just try to relax.
We will. We will.
Yeah, I love you guys very much.
I love you very much.
I love you too, Charlie. You know, I've always loved you. I've always loved you.
We'll take care of this, Charlie. Work through it, okay?
Yeah, I'm staying strong. I'll be fine. Stay strong. I'll be good. I'm getting myself tomorrow. Move around a little bit.
Okay.
I'll be all right.
Okay.
I'll tell her just to give you guys a few days before you come.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'll tell Janet to call her.
Rashbaum is 6 feet tall now if he stands on his wallet.
At the end of the week.
Yeah.
So you guys feel a little bit hot right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I love you, sweetheart.
Love you, Charlie.
We'll talk tomorrow, okay?
All right. I love you a lot. Have a good night, okay?
I love you, Charlie.
All right.
Good night.
Love you too. Love you guys. Have a good night. All right. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The caller has hung up.
Hey, guys.
Hey, honey. I just
Hey.
added that $100, so it should show up on your
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if you did because I called Janet and said you got $10. So if it doesn't show up tonight, it'll show up tomorrow. That's fine. I just wanted to remind you because I thought maybe you forgot because you were home today.
Oh no! I just did it literally as we hung up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. It'll be on there at some point. Then.
Yeah. If it doesn't show, I mean, they already sent me. Let's see. They already sent. Let me see if the confirmation is through. Donna,
No, don't worry. I'm sure you did. I can always call you collect. We're on it, collect.
I have a lot of money on mine, so call collect. But I just got the confirmation, so it did go through.
Okay.
All right, honey.
All right. Listen, I love you guys a lot. Take an extra stand and just relax. Okay.
We will, honey.
We will.
We will.
I love
All
you.
right. I'll call you tomorrow. You guys have a good night. Okay.
We will.
Call me anytime. Call us anytime,
Okay.
please.
Love you.
All right. Love you guys. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
The caller has hung up.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you don't miss the next.
Well, that's all we've got for tonight, and I've got to take the dog out. So happy Markel Murder Day. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Please do leave a like on the video if you have not already before you go. That would be splendid. Thanks for coming. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the discussion. We'll see you again tomorrow on True Crime Metrix. Thanks to the moderators and the supporters and everyone else. All right. The dog has been staring at me for half an hour and it looks serious. I gotta go. So we'll have to say a quick goodbye. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. All right, we're really gonna go now. Thanks so much. Bye.